Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Vikram, and this is Courage Coach. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt trapped in your own head, fighting thoughts that seem stronger than you are? Thoughts of fear, anxiety, depression? It's tough, right? And honestly, it's a battle many of us fight quietly. Well, the good news is you're not alone. Here at Courage Coach, we are going to face it together. This is the place to find confidence, clarity, and purpose, no matter what you're going through. Today, I'm excited to kick off our very first episode with someone truly amazing, Vimanshu Khanna. Vimanshu is a brilliant entrepreneur who has started multiple businesses, including the International Academy of Information Technology, International Academy of Fashion and Design right here in Dehradun. But there's something not a lot of people know about her. She achieved all this while quietly battling depression, a tough hidden struggle that she bravely fought and overcame. Today, she's here to open up and talk frankly about what it's like living with depression, what helped her overcome it, and whether there's real hope for others who are going through a similar battle. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's dive deep into this candid conversation. Welcome to Courage Coach, Vimanshu Khanna.
Thank you, Vikram. Thank you so much.
Let me ask you,
Sure.
as a start, who is Vimanshu? In your own
yes.
words.
Yes. My father, he was known as Anshu, and my mom was known as Vimi. So they kind of, it's more like sharing their alphabets, mixing up, and then coming out with this name Vimanshu. But just recently, I came to know, because my husband is a techie, that this is the most unique name on Google. I didn't want to share it.
Wow.
But because you asked me this, it's only one shop in Manali has a signage with this, a signboard. Otherwise, this is the most unique on Google till now.
It's amazing because I've never heard,
Yes.
I've never known anybody called Vimanshu.
And especially a girl, a woman, a female, because
Yeah.
it sounds like a very macho thing, Vimanshu. It's
So is
always
there a
guy.
meaning to this name?
I think it means the world to me because it's my dad's and my mother's name. So
It's combined. It's a combination.
yes, it's a Vimi, Vimanshu. So my dad is Anshu and my mom is Vimi.
Amazing.
So it's Vimanshu.
Beautiful.
Yes, they
So,
kind of, it's something like a lot of Bollywood stars do that.
I mean, biologically, also it's true. And also, I
Yes.
think spiritually and emotionally, because you draw from both of them.
Yes.
You are their DNA, right?
Yes.
That's
The only
one-
thing is, I was always taken for a boy or a male. So all my school certificates are like, okay, it's Mr. Vimanshu Khanna.
Okay.
It's like that.
Do people still,
Yes,
do you still
yes.
get that?
They get confused on
Okay.
whenever they send me messages through Facebook or something. They like, oh, are you the woman in the photograph? Are you the girl in the photograph or whatever? And it's not the male we are talking to when they make
Yeah.
friends and all that. So they get confused between Vimanshu, whether it's the boy. They
Yeah.
get confused between the gender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, how was your childhood?
I was born in 1976, February 17th, and 3 years from then, that was in 1979, I was also chosen as the Doon baby, our very Doon baby. And my father and mother loved me a lot because they had problems in conceiving, and I was born out of prayers, So, and they loved me a lot, but because we were in a joint family, we had our own struggles. Like, they used to have their fights over their issues. And so I have seen
Yeah.
that everything is not perfect,
No,
but they were
it
very
isn't.
nice and kind to me as a parent.
So you would say you had a happy childhood?
Very happy, but it was a mix. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfection. Like, these days,
Yeah.
people are very educated. They're very controlled.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing this in front of a boy, or we shouldn't be talking this in front of a girl, because this is a whole different generation. Because of internet and globalization, because of our reels today on
Yeah.
social media, everybody's becoming conscious about good parenting.
Yeah.
How can I be a good mother? I read about it. A lot of women read about it. How can I be a good dad? But during those times, my parents were refugees from Pakistan. It
Okay.
was so difficult to make their ends meet. So how can they think about these psychological battles which they were not aware of? They were themselves not aware of. So if I look back, my childhood was not perfect, but yes, their love was so good for me. They made me meet Mr. Amitabh Bachchan.
Wow.
They went to RK studio. They took me to Bombay, and I remember my dad telling Mr. Amitabh Bachchan that she's the Doon baby 1979.
Wow.
And he gave me a compliment which till date is my strength. He said, "Your daughter looks so." And this was Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. You know, he might not be knowing who I am, whether my existence is there or not. But his words mean a lot to me. Whenever there was a rock bottom in my life, my dad always told me, you know, don't forget you are that child whom Mr. Amitabh Bachchan said, she looks so.
Isn't it interesting that words have such power that when somebody important says something about your life, it can have we sort of receive it. We receive it into our lives and allow it to manifest.
It's etched in your mind as well as your soul.
Exactly.
It's etched.
And that you remember it till today and draw strength from it. That's amazing.
I have a beautiful memory, you know, I feel blessed because I remember what Mr. Amitabh Bachchan and Mr. Randhir Kapoor were wearing at that time.
Yeah.
When we were sitting next to them. They were shooting for a film.
Okay.
And I remember that he had very long legs. He's really tall, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember he was wearing a pink shirt, by the way. Yes, I remember.
Wow, that's beautiful.
This was in RK studio.
RK studio.
Yes, right.
When do you think, we'll take a jump ahead because we want to talk about depression, you know. Do you remember when the first signs of heaviness appeared?
Yes, they were in school.
Okay.
I was a very good debater.
Yeah.
Elocutions. But then one fine day, being the best, I forgot my whole speech. And my captain, he helped me with a glass of water and told me to, I was very nervous. That was the day anxiety hit me like a demon. Like, it was bad because I had never, ever lost any of the debates. And that was like losing the audience, you know, losing.
So was it during the main, it was elocution, right?
It was, yes, a debate or an elocution.
Okay. And you got tongue-tied, you were not able to speak on stage.
I lost it. I couldn't even see any audience. It was just blank. I went blank.
You went blank.
Total blank.
And then you just went back and sat down?
Yes.
And you couldn't complete it?
No, and after that, I started dreading stage.
And until then, you were very successful. You said that you took part in so many...
Theatre.
Yeah.
I did a 3-hour lead play in my school.
Wow.
And I practiced for 6 months with the director and worked very hard on that play. And I also became the cover girl of the school magazine. There was a small picture. I called myself a cover girl, you know.
So you would say that day changed everything for you?
Yes.
Nothing was the same after that day?
No. I started, you know, that stage fright?
Yeah.
That was my first sign of anxiety and negativity engulfing my mind. I started losing confidence.
And like, tell me the following days, you know, the days that followed after this event.
Yes. Now, I'll jump to the next event where I felt that I'm not normal.
Okay.
Where I actually can... This was a trigger.
This was a trigger.
But then I'll jump a couple of months later, around say 6 months later, when I came home from my school, I stopped speaking. I became very quiet. Like my friend was talking more than me, and suddenly I realized I'm the talker, but I'm not talking. There's something wrong. And I came home and I started becoming a loner in my room, avoiding the social people outside. Even one of my friends invited me for a party. I danced, but I wasn't talking. I was dancing well, but I wasn't talking.
You weren't talking?
No. I went absolute quiet.
Yeah. And what did the people say when they noticed this change in you?
My father and mother, they were the first ones to observe this. That something is wrong with their daughter. Why? Because I was behaving in a very different manner. And why? Because I had this self-guilt. There was no pressure from any school or any of my parents to study hard.
Yeah.
But they wanted me to see as me to be a doctor, because during the 90s, you know, every good dad wanted his
Yeah.
And so I was good in biology, I was very good in biology. So he always wanted to see me as a doctor, and I wanted to be a doctor, but my physics, chemistry wasn't that good. I was a topper in biology, but wasn't good in other subjects. So, and because of some reasons, I lost interest in my studies, and I became more involved in theater and sports and other things. And when I came home, I was not prepared for my board exams. I was not prepared. So this self-guilt came in.
For the 12th
Yeah.
school leaving. Yeah.
I had to go back for my
Yeah.
examination. But I wasn't prepared because I didn't study. I was more into theater. And
Right.
so that self-guilt, now
Yeah.
that's that
Yeah.
demon. I will
Yeah.
come to that point.
Right.
It started engulfing me that, oh my God, what is my father going to
Yeah.
think when he'll find I'm not ready for my examination?
Mm.
I dashed my mother dreams, my
Yeah.
sisters, I was an inspiration to them.
Right.
I'm failing. So this onset, it was the fear of failure.
Okay.
Yes. So there, my parents started finding me.
When did you have this strong feeling of the fear of failure?
When I came back home, and now there was nothing else.
Yeah.
I was at home.
Yeah.
Sports was left behind in school. Theater was left behind in school.
Exactly.
And now I had the only thing which I had to focus was on my board examinations. So now nothing else. Now I can't escape the reality. The reality is right in front of me.
Right.
Head on, you know. So there, I think, now it was fear engulfing. Like, what am I going to do now? I'm not prepared. I didn't study. And 3 months is not long enough for my 12th science.
Yeah.
Maths and biology both, no. I gave up. I already gave up.
You already gave up.
Yes.
Even before
Coming back home.
Yeah, coming back home, even before the exams, you were consumed by this fear.
Now what I realized is the reality was that I was not meant for science. My interest was something else.
Okay.
But because at that time, other things were not that common and
Yeah.
successful in India, so everybody wanted you to be a doctor. You know,
Yeah.
that good image, and of course, good in bio and all that. But that wasn't what I was made for.
Do you know that I also took science in class after class 10? I took science because, see, I told you I studied till 10. I was at Weinberg Allen.
Right.
And then I came down, I took science because I was also like you, I was good at bio.
Okay.
But the problem was, I went there, I started attending the classes, and after 1 month, I realized, man, this is not for me.
Yeah.
You know? And so what I did, I switched to commerce. Why? One of the reasons was because all my good friends were, were in commerce class.
That's again common because
Yeah.
I remember my teachers used to ask me, you belong to the science section.
Yeah.
Why are you always with them, the commerce section?
Exactly.
Probably the bent of mind. Both of us, Vikram,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. But I also, like you said, I also realized pretty quickly that science is not for me,
Yeah.
But the motivation was like, we had very few options. And if you wanted to become successful, you had to, in India, even today, a lot of people might think that way, but more so then, engineer,
Oh, I was coming to that.
engineer, doctor. Yeah.
So that's how, and then my father, mother noticed there was a difference in behavior.
Yeah. After this one event, sort of your life went downhill in terms of your emotional and mental health. Where did things begin to get worse? Tell me about that. Because I want to take you to the place where you told me about this day where you said something that shocked your whole family. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll just hold on to it. But I want you to come back a little and lead us to that day which shocked your parents.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Just an evening before, one of my friends called me for a New Year's party. And we were dancing around the bonfire. I kept on dancing. And I came home. Again, I was not talking. I was just dancing. I came home. I slept because I was so tired. And the next morning I got up. I started crying and asking my family and telling them again and again that I want to go to God. This happened with me. And at that time, this I was getting fascinated with everything red. Red lipstick, red suit in the wardrobe. And I dressed up and I was like, take me to the God. I want to go to the God. And I still don't know why it happened. And some will call it, they can judge me, they can call my that episode as an hallucination or whatever, whatever. But I was only talking about I want to go to God, I remember.
When you say hallucination, did you see images? Did you see anything?
No,
No. So you were okay. You were not hallucinating.
no. I see, I remember it so well till date.
Yeah.
So that clarity is like, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
but I am there.
Yeah.
I'm being transported there.
How
And
old
I
were you?
clearly, class 12, 17, 18, 16, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. My maths, Vikram,
Yeah.
you're not asking me figures.
Okay.
I warned you in conversation.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, and then my dad saw
Yeah.
me behaving very differently. Why are you wearing a red lipstick? Why are you
Yeah.
wearing a red suit? Very funny things, you know, which I was more into Western wear, into denims and all that. So he said, this is something different. And I don't remember what exactly my mom and dad discussed, you know, outside the room. I was in the room, I was in my bedroom. But they said, let's go to Delhi.
Okay.
Then we were sitting in a car. I don't remember which exactly what car. Yeah, I was sitting next to the door, and on the way to Delhi, I try and open the door, and I tell them I'm going to the God. I'm going to God. Like it was almost like I was about to fall.
Oh, in a moving car.
Yes,
Oh, you wanted to open
in
the
a
door
moving car on a highway.
on the highway. You opened the door. You wanted to
Yes,
get out.
because my parents didn't know the intensity of what I was going through.
Crazy.
So my mom was sitting here,
Yeah.
my dad, I think, and
Yeah.
I was by mistake or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe my dad was in front,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
So me and my mom were there. Yes, that's why, you know, I kind of opened it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was sitting next to the driver. So I opened it and I wanted to jump out, but
Yeah.
my mom or somebody pulled me.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the way, I was in between my mom and dad.
Okay.
So that's how I remember. And then we reached Delhi.
Yeah.
There was a clinic, Dr. Bhushan, and I'll come to that part later.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for him. He's no more. He passed away. And there was a Ganesh Ji statue or some wall hanging.
Yeah.
And again, I went, and the only thing which was attracting me was this God image on the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah.
And I was like, I want to go to God. Mama, Papa, I want to go to God. And I was, you know, directing it
Yeah.
in that. And then they took me to Dr. Jain's cabin, and there it happened that, you know, he made me sit. And then I told my father that I want to talk to my auntie. You know?
Okay. You told your parents, told your father that you want to talk to your aunt.
Yes.
Okay.
This is my mother's brother's wife.
Okay.
Okay, I want to talk to her constantly.
Yeah.
And then I start screaming at Dr. Jain that I want to talk to her, you know.
Okay.
I will not listen to you unless and until you make me talk to her. And then he tells because at that time those STD booths were there. So he tells my father that go and take her and first let her talk.
Yeah.
Otherwise she won't talk to me. And then my father and my mother, they take me to an STD booth, and they dial her number, and I talk to her. And again, I'm being very honest and brutally honest right now. I don't know it was an imagination or was it a reality, but I just felt that when I spoke to her, there was a different voice. And
Whose voice changed? Different voice.
not a female,
No. But whose voice changed? Your voice?
my voice.
While you were talking to your aunt.
Yes.
What did you say?
The person was speaking in Hindi, and whoever this voice was, it's again, and it might be an imagination of depression, or it might be something else. I'm not sure about it.
Did other people hear that voice?
My dad is not there. He passed away. My mom, she's not sure about it because she was standing outside the STD booth.
Okay.
And I don't remember where I was.
So tell me, what did the voice say to your aunt?
Yes. So I remember this, and I'm being very honest about it. Now anybody can judge me and make anything out of it because this happened with me. I'm just sharing it with you, Vikram, and I don't mind sharing it because this is the honesty. So and I felt a lot of weight in my body, a lot of weight,
Yeah.
like heavy, and and then this voice says that please forgive me, okay, and from the other end, my auntie is there on the telephone, and she tells this voice that leave her, don't trouble her.
Tell me in Punjabi what she said.
Chhad de, enu chhad de. Yeah. And then after that, I felt like it's again, I'm so confused whether it happened or not, but I felt very light, as if something just went out of my body. Something lifted. And now I am myself, and I'm back to some kind of normalcy. That weight wasn't there in my body, right? And then I went back to Dr. Jain, and he spoke to me, and he gave me some medicines.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and my parents religiously gave me those medicines, with so much discipline. And I used to sleep a lot, like a log.
Do you know what medication he gave you?
At that time,
Yeah.
it's very difficult because it was 94 and it's 2025.
Yeah.
So I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't have the records also because my dad was in a transferable job. So we used to hop around a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
But who was administering the medication to you? You didn't take it by yourself.
No,
Your
no,
parents
no.
gave it to you on a regular basis.
My doctor, Dr. Jain, Dr. Bhushan Jain.
So Dr.
I was
Jain,
lucky to find him in a day, in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
As if I was destined to meet him,
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm coming to the emotional part. We started as a patient and a doctor. But trust me, I lost my father twice. My biological father
Yeah.
and Dr. Jain, who was my mentor, my counselor, and my father. Because he always counseled me as if I was his own daughter.
Yeah.
He was so good and so true and so honest to all his clients, not only to me.
Yeah.
But I was very intelligent, or you can say I was good at connecting with him. I used to go out of the way to get the best out of him. You're like my dad. You have to tell me the best. So Hindi में कहते हैं मार्गदर्शन. That he used to direct me. But at the same time, there were moments in my and his relationship where I never listened to him. I did what my gut feeling told me.
Like
My
what,
instinct.
for instance?
For instance, he told me not to marry the man I'm married to, even my father. But I'm telling you, this is God's miracle that both of them, even my doctor, even my dad, not apologize, but they had this twinkle in their eye that we are sorry. We are sorry. My dad, before passing out, he said it would have been the greatest mistake of me not marrying you to this wonderful, wonderful person, my husband,
So,
who is now my husband. Yes.
so sometimes counselors, mentors are not always right.
No, it's your gut feeling. It's God. It's
Yeah.
destiny. You're destined. I wasn't sure a night before that I'll get married to him.
Wow. We'll talk about that. Let's come back to you. Come back from meeting your psychiatrist, Dr. Bhushan, and he gives you these medications.
Yes.
Tell me how it affected your life in the days that followed.
What I remember that I slept a lot.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of time in coming back to my normalcy because I became very nervous. Even when I was having those medicines, I was very nervous in learning a new musical instrument, the starting, just giving an example, or learning something new, or going out of the house. So that nervousness is till date with me. Let me tell you. I'm as anxious as any other person, but I have over the years started self-controlling myself with the help of medicines, of course, because when I leave my medicines, then I get attacks. Like I get very jittery, I get over aggressive,
Yeah.
and my body language changes.
Yeah.
My husband, before getting married to him, my father is able to make it out that there's something wrong with you now. I think it's time to go to the doctor to get your medicines.
Take me to the time when you felt your darkest. Tell me, darkest time in your life.
My first divorce, like my first marriage divorce.
What happened?
I got married, and it didn't. It wasn't for me, or we were not destined to be together. So it ended in a divorce. Nothing nasty about it, but it left a very deep emotional void in me, because deep down I was never very ambitious to be a businesswoman. I used to tell my dad, okay, one day are you going to leave all this business and get me married to someone? He used to say, yes, you have to marry, because I don't want you to just experience business, earn money, and that's life. You should experience everything in life. I'm your father. I want you to have children. I want you to have your husband.
Yeah.
But then I thought, what's the point of going so far? Get me married right now. Because I wanted to marry in life, let me tell you. Okay? But then my father witnessed my cousin's death in my family because of a bad marriage. Okay? People say it was a suicide, some say she was killed. The theory is not known.
Okay.
I cannot blame. But one of my cousins died very early, first year of our marriage, and she was gone. So maybe she committed suicide, or maybe something wrong happened. I don't know. Neither will I take any responsibility, because I wasn't there, with her. But then my father introspected, and he said, it's not only marriage. It's very important for a woman to have that self-confidence that if the marriage ends into a divorce, or there is no male support behind her, she can take care of herself. And trust me, it was my dad's energy. Like now, if I recall, of course, there was a divorce waiting for me. But then I wasn't my cousin from a small town village who had no one to talk to because of the societal pressures. Even the parents didn't come forward because they were more bothered about what the neighbors are going to tell her. She wasn't that qualified to get a job.
Yeah.
So she gave it to that pressure. And in contrast to her, I was a modern woman, studied, well versed with boys, because I studied in a co-educational school all my life. What men are, what relationships are. And my father was the pillar of support because he launched me financially. He made an office for me. My mother's strength as a homemaker, who did everything from doing my clothes to giving me food, because I was always working. I didn't have any help other than her. My sister supporting me in family business. My younger sister, who had medicine, again she wanted to be a doctor. But then thoroughly, I brainwashed her or whatever. I convinced her to join the family business. And she came and she became the pillar of strength. She's even much more smarter than me today. She's still working.
Wow.
And,
So tell me, when you went through this divorce, how did it impact your father?
He lost his faith. He lost his trust. Before the divorce, my father was a very jolly, good fellow, doing good to everybody without even thinking. Okay, my daughter's friend is coming, the best food. You want to go to the theater? I'll book the tickets for you. Okay, you want to go to Missouri? Okay, I'll hire the car for you, friends. And go ahead, enjoy your life. But then I started observing him in little things. He started fearing the society as a father. He was guilty. He said, I exposed you because now it's my fault that I launched you and you got the local level fame. People knew you and you came across wrong people in your life. I exposed you. I still remember his words. But it was not, if he exposed me, then it was his giving me that strength to face that adversity also.
Exactly.
Because I was financially independent now, right? And because of my relationship breaking, I always Okay, in business also, like you fail. In life, I had failed class 12th, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't go for my
Yeah.
board exams. But I learned how to move on. So from that failure, this was my strength now to move on from my first marriage and look forward to somebody else in life. That's why I headed for divorce. And I focused in my work. My work saved me.
Wow.
Yeah. I think my father, energy and work, but he was broken because he always started, once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
became like that. And I feel, but it's okay because he became cautious. And then my sister got married. He was very cautious. He was not that naive, small town man.
Yeah.
He was looking for a person, not for his money or career. He was looking for the right soul. For
So-
my sister's husband, yes.
Yeah. So when you were divorced, and how did your life change?
Yes. No matter how modern you are, how well educated you are, um, maybe abroad also, but abroad it's a bit different because people stay alone in their houses. They don't stay with their parents. But in India, we girls stay with our parents. Now things are changing in the
Yeah.
metros. Things are changing. People are living alone, you know. But for me, it was like I got married. So my parents were hoping for this beautiful dream that now my daughter is going to spend the rest of her life with the Prince Charming in her house, right? But look, I'm back again. And they didn't say anything negative or any kind of pressure, not even with their body languages. In fact, they started overprotecting me. Sometimes used to get bugged. Stop over loving. It's obvious. Stop doing that. But me as a daughter didn't feel the same. You know why? Because I stayed with a man. I stayed in my house. I was whatever bad happened, but I was the queen of that house.
Yeah.
So I started missing a man in my life. I started missing marriage even more. I didn't become negative this time. I started blaming it on destiny. I don't blame anybody for that. Not even that man, his family. I have forgiven.
Yeah.
Whatever nasty things, whatever mutual misunderstandings take place. But I'm not restless because I have forgiven. I have come to terms it was destiny because there was a better future.
Better future.
Better future.
And that's talking about better future. You focused on something else. Like you said, you missed that. So there was some sort of a void in your life now, but you focused on something else in the next years. And what
My
was
work.
that? Yeah.
My work, yes. Because all my energies, I said now, if I had two choices, either brood, start thinking negative, stay at home, shun the world, or come out like a phoenix from the ashes, right, Vikram?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
This Greek mythology says that this golden bird, phoenix, was burnt into flames. But then, because of its strength and power, it rose from the ashes. So this strength was inside me that I have to channelize my negative into my positive. And I was doing very well in my work. So from morning till evening, I became a workaholic. But
What was that work?
yes, I was a counselor.
Yeah,
So I
and-
used to meet different people from college, young people, boys and girls.
Yeah. I think so. For clarity, we need to talk about that you started an institute.
Yes.
And was the first of its kind here in this state or Uttarakhand.
First of a kind in the sense that
Yeah.
it was not acres of land.
Yeah.
Very small premises, but on the main road, with a lot of courses like IT, computers, management. I also diversified and was the first woman entrepreneur to bring fashion in the 90s when there wasn't even McDonald's in India.
Exactly.
So I love this credit. I call it my self credit. I don't think so if anybody will acknowledge. I don't
No,
care
I think
because
so. I'm also from the same town, and I heard about this, and I'd heard your name. We are meeting now, but I'd heard about this institute because it's firstly now the town is growing and has grown. Since we have a new capital and a new state, but at that time, like anything happened, you knew what was happening. Any new institute came, came up and we knew about it. So I'd heard about it. And definitely, you give yourself credit, that's great. But I'm sure even if people don't acknowledge it, they know that you were the first one to bring, an institute of, such a high standard to this state. In both in information technology as well as fashion and design.
Textile, interiors, a lot of website designing, graphic designing, AutoCAD.
Yeah.
And I also started fashion photography, which was a failure at that time because, people with low level income could not afford cameras, they could not pay our fees, and there was a lot of, you are from this background, so you know how much money it takes, to make a
I know
portfolio and all that.
I know, the way the
it
time...
failed. That course failed, but I'm happy because now it's happening in the country.
Now it's happening. I mean, the times it's so easy for people. There's no excuse. I tell people, I've been doing this for over 20 years. And I remember how I started. My dad loved this, photography. So he had a manual where you put the roll and you then wound it and then clicked and wound it. SLR, they called it.
SLR, yeah.
And so I started with that. And then I went to London. And in London, I worked at Burger King. And what I would do is I would pass by Dixon's. Dixon is kind of electronics store there. Okay. And it's like B&H in the US, Dixon's here, Reliance Digital here, something like that. Yeah. And I saw a video camera and I said, okay, it was like something like between 300, 400 pounds. And I remember I used to get like 4 pounds, 10 pence, 4 pounds, 10 pence per hour. And I saved that over months. And after a couple of months, I had enough to buy that camera.
Wow.
And the first day I got it, I just took the camera, went around London on this red bus, got down, just shooting people. I mean, that was amazing. And when I played back in my room, when I played back the footage, the images and the video, I was fascinated. I was playing it back and speaking, or in my mind was narrating the story because I'd seen these documentaries on Discovery or National Geographic, and I said, like, wow, this is and so I started like that, and then I made short films using that camera. Wow. There was no editing, nothing. Like today you can edit and do anything even on a smartphone, but that's how I started. So so I know how it is in that field, when your parents just had a few options in front of them, like doctor, engineer, and so
it was a risk.
It was a risk. Something talking about films, media, or fashion was out of their horizon. That was not their world.
Now, that was the pain where my fashion photography crashed, right?
Right, yeah.
That course didn't go. But today, that same thing is my power. Ask me how, Vikram.
How?
My daughter is very good in photography.
Wow.
So just last year, she's joined a course. She's coming up so well. Last night, I paid the fees for her advanced course in photography. And now I bought the best camera for her. So that pain is now my power, because whenever I see my daughter in a photography exhibition, just last month, it was in her school, the feeling was priceless. It is priceless, because that was a dream failed.
Yeah.
But now my daughter is living that dream. And you never know.
You never know.
You never know. She's so good in wildlife photography.
Wow.
She's so good in wildlife.
Yeah. That's great about your daughter, that she loves wildlife. Has she gone like to some park or national parks to take photographs?
Yes. Yeah? The Jim Corbett, Ramnagar.
She's been to Jim Corbett?
Yes.
Did she spot a tiger?
She, in fact, I'll be very honest with you, that you really don't have to go to a jungle to get the best click.
Yeah.
She got the best click, which her faculty member, her teacher, her esteemed teacher, had wisely chosen for the photography thing, which was on that wall of fame, is a cat under her own dining table with the Puma shoes. And the cat is looking with so much innocence. And the Puma brand is here, on that shoe. And what is fascinating about is that Puma means that leopard, cat is that, is the same species. What do you call it? You tell me. Is the same category or
family?
Family, family is a better term. So her teacher told me that this is a very beautiful click, because there's so much innocence in the cat eye, wondering if I belong to the Puma family. And Puma is the brand logo there.
Amazing.
And I'll share it with you whenever
Amazing.
you
Yeah,
want.
please do. And this photograph was taken by your daughter?
Yes.
Amazing.
And she did go to Jim Corbett.
Yeah.
But she clicked under the dining table where this cat was there.
Wow. It's amazing, and you don't have to go far into a jungle to click amazing photographs. You can do it right where you are.
I have peacocks coming
Yeah.
where the gated society I stay.
Really? You have
I
peacocks?
have peacocks around me. When I go out, there are 3 or 4 more because I live in Haryana.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
full of peacocks. Sorry to say, but we are intruding into their privacy,
I know.
No, the
Yeah,
jungles, and
yeah.
we are coming up with malls and
The
all
problem,
that.
the problem is too many people,
Too many people.
And we require that set. I mean, every time I come back, I get it takes me 1 or 2 days to adjust, to the amount of people and the noise levels and everything.
And the concrete development.
Man, it's
That's
crazy.
massive
It
everywhere
is,
in the
It is
country.
crazy. It's like, how fast it's developing and building everywhere. I mean, even this town, there used to be, when we first moved here, there used to be like just bushes and forest and everything. And now if you go, you've got like high-rise buildings. I walk to my cafe. I drink coffee.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to coffee. I need my 2 cups, so I just walk. No point taking out a vehicle. I just walk. I can walk to the cafe. I can walk to the mall here. I can walk to the hospital, max.
But it's not the same because in the 90s, I used to come up this area for my walks and runs. And I used to get scared because there were jungles around. There was nobody I could see. And the same place now, Vikram, I'm sure when you are going to Ama Cafe for a cup of coffee, you must be dreading some of the other vehicle coming and hitting you.
Absolutely.
It's that fear in me. And you can't wear your earphones here.
No, you cannot.
Way.
No way. Just recently, I think a couple of weeks ago, right here, maybe 1 or 2 kilometers ahead towards Rajpur, there was a speeding vehicle in the evening and it ran over 4 laborers, daily wages. They were returning home after the shift, it ran over them, all 4 died on the spot. The guy, what he did, he took the car, he parked it somewhere else, and he ran off to Delhi or somewhere. Well,
hit and run.
Yeah, the good thing is we've got cameras, so he was traced and then later, arrested.
It's not safe. It's not the same on these roads.
No,
but this is a topic where we can have another podcast for,
Definitely.
Because it's a very important topic, the ecosystem, and a lot of people are doing things.
Coming back to mental health and depression, let's say you started taking medicines, right, for your depression.
Yes.
Was there a time, like sometimes when you forgot to take your medication? During those times, how did you feel?
Yeah, this is an experience which has been going on and off. Because to be very honest, sometimes these medicines, they lower down your energy levels. The next morning when you get up, you're not that energetic. Without the medicines, this is my own experience, which I'm sharing, very honest experience. I feel like more energetic when it comes to working out. Physical. Okay? So like more energy in running within the house, doing household chores and going to the gym or walking around. It's more physical. But with these medicines, in the morning, I become a little slow. Like I don't feel that energetic. But by the evening, I'm more energetic. So somewhere I feel it's the effect going down during the evening. And because I had the medicines at night, they kind of, tranquilize you a little. The right word.
So is there
tranquilize you?
Yeah, tranquilizer. It makes you calm and peaceful.
So if you're that
you down.
peaceful and unnaturally, see, there are people born peaceful. Like my husband, he's very calm.
Naturally born peaceful.
Yeah, he is like that. He'll go and work out for an hour. He's very self-disciplined. He works out, but he's got his own physical energy to do that. But me, it's the medicines, And this is not something I'm discouraging anybody with. This I'm bringing the fact in front of people is that when you will start your therapy or your medication in the beginning, you will feel a little different from what you feel.
Right.
But don't let that negate you or discourage you from going on with your medication.
Right.
Because there comes a stage, say after might be it's 1 month for a person, for another person it's 2 months, for another person it's 6 months. Then after medication, you come to a stage where you really feel good about yourself.
I know.
And I am in that stage right now
Yeah.
because with the help of my husband's support, otherwise I am, very good at skipping medicines. He's the one who's always coming and, every night making sure. He's such a support.
Yeah.
And with this, I'll also like to share another important point. Right? First, I'll finish this point that I'm very regular with my medicines. That's why I'm sitting in front of you talking with such a big smile on my face. Right, Vikram? And if you will leave medication, if the doctor advises, please go to a doctor. Do not self-medicate yourself. Okay, go to.
I did that.
No, that's wrong.
I did that. During my
It can be
earlier.
fatal. It can be fatal.
Yeah.
It can actually result.
At that time, actually, I didn't know.
It can be so fatal. You were actually, you're blessed that you told me that your parents discovered it and
my
then
parents,
they helped you, right?
Yeah. I believe when you say self-medicate, I believe a lot of people are doing it without even realizing. At that time, I didn't know that I'm medicating myself.
But how did you come to know, Vikram, that you need some medication? How did you recognize the need for that?
I felt anxious. I felt anxious in even going to school, like last 2 years of my school.
Did some friend tell you or this came that you were already aware that some medicines are there for anxiety? What was it?
I didn't know. I heard some people who were taking medication, but they were taking maybe as recreation, for recreation, to feel good, to numb.
Yeah.
Some people do it, I think so, to just
Get a high.
But I did not. I think so. I started doing it to
Just
see
to
whether
feel
this.
normal.
Yes, to feel normal.
To feel normal.
So
yeah.
I did.
It
do
was
that.
a cry, right?
Yeah.
It was a cry. I can
Yeah, it
relate
was a
to
cry
that.
for help.
Yes.
And I tried that, and but it took me. It made me, like you said. Firstly, it slows you down.
Yes.
And sometimes
You felt that?
Yeah, slows you down, makes you calm. But what you don't realize is that your behavior changes. It changes your behavior, which you might not realize, but people around you, they realize.
Irritation, anger, and making mountains out of the molehill.
Yeah, exactly. And I would get irritated when I started taking that. I got so irritated at times at my friends. And then once I told one guy who was trying to, he noticed something, that my behavior had changed.
Yes.
And he said, I told him, "Tu mera baap hai kya?" I said like this.
Yeah, and you're like.
And are you my father?
Yeah.
To tell me what to do and what not to do. So just out of irritation.
It wasn't like you, right?
So it was affecting my relationships as well.
Yes.
And I believe that a lot of people in this world self-medicate. Alcohol, why do people get addicted to alcohol? It's not just that. A lot of people take alcohol because they think for that moment they'll feel better. A lot of that they are out of poverty, whatever reason, or they are out of responsibilities.
It's an escape.
It's an escape.
Yes. Yes, some people call it, or maybe the other day we were having a discussion, a coping mechanism.
I'll tell you, in Germany, I was there, and one time I heard this guy saying, you know what, every evening I need my fix. And he was talking about referring to the drink.
Drugs. Why not drugs also, right?
Yeah.
Though in some countries, some drugs are legalized now.
I think legalized doesn't mean that you cannot become dependent on those.
Yes.
Because the thing is, any addiction is self-control. I see addiction as extreme.
Yes.
Like any extreme behavior or consumption is like if you're watching Netflix, binge watching Netflix, or just on your phone, social media, that's addiction. It releases dopamine in your brain.
So what is that one thing, Vikram, what thing you think can control this? This will be a great message for whoever is watching our podcast. What is your idea of, sticking to moderation and not becoming an addict?
I think it's not that easy.
But what is it?
It has something to, now what I'll say is easier said than done. The problem is that not a lot of people can do it. Self-control.
Yes, self-discipline.
Self-discipline, willpower,
yes.
All these things.
Determination.
Okay.
Prayers.
Prayer, definitely believing in something higher than yourself and seeking prayer and help from above. Another thing is creating habits, good and positive habits. So all these things.
Discipline, yes.
Yeah.
It boils down to discipline and prayers.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you now in our Indian culture,
Yeah.
there's a lot of therapy which is going towards spiritualism. That what happens, all the worries, anxieties lead us to addictions because we want an escape from them.
Yeah.
A daily grind,
Yeah.
battles. Somebody's mom and dad is fighting. Somebody is having problems with the relationships. Boyfriend, girlfriend breaking up. Love matters. So all these, or exam pressure, like in my case in class 12th, career pressures, future is uncertain, so much global competition because of internet and everything. So we have to believe in what you said, a higher power, that everything will fall in place. It's just a matter of time. Keep your focus on your work.
Yeah.
Do not worry about the results.
Yeah.
It's even in Mahabharata.
Yeah.
They say कर्म की इच्छा कर्म करो, फल की इच्छा मत करो. Now this, if we translate in English, is that you work, do not worry about the results.
That's what I practice daily. I try to give my best, and in anything I tell everybody, I tell my wife and my kids, give it your best shot. Don't be attached to the result.
Yes.
And that's the thing, because it's something, once you've given your thing, it's not in your control. Let go. Detach yourself from the result.
Beautiful.
I pray, a lot of people, I believe in healing. I believe in prayer that God can heal, and we should pray for somebody. When we say prayer, I just don't pray out of ritual, but I pray out of expectancy, that I expect result. But I'm not attached to the result. So I do the first part as an act of obedience. There was a story, one time I was, traveling on a plane from Dehradun to Mumbai. I used to live in Mumbai at that time. Okay. And there was an older lady sitting next to me. She was coming from a pilgrimage, yatra, and she was going back to her home. And she was sitting there, an old lady, maybe she was in her 70s, mid-70s or something. And I started talking to her. I observed something, that she was a bit uncomfortable. She was like, and, just sighing, in all the movements. And I said, is there a problem? Are you okay?
Yeah.
And she said, you know what, son, I'm a young guy in India, we address everyone, aunt, son, this son.
Beta.
Beta, beta.
Yeah.
Beta, क्या बताऊं, मेरे जोड़ों में बहुत दर्द होता है. All my joints are hurting. I cannot straighten my finger. And literally her fingers were like this, her hands. I cannot straighten my hand completely, and my shoulder here, it hurts. So now the thing was for me, hey, should I pray for her? Should I pray? Because when I read the Bible, it says, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that, it's done for you and will be yours. This is what Jesus said in the Gospel of Mark. And so I said, okay, do I want to be obedient? So I said, Auntie, can I pray for you?
Yes.
She said, yeah, go ahead, pray.
Okay.
But I had to tell her, I said, I'm a Christian. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I pray to him. And he promised that when we pray in his name, that he heals. And I believe, a lot of people don't believe in healing in that way, but I do believe that God can answer, because we cannot control God. We cannot make God decide, whether he should heal or not. It's up to him, So anyway,
yes, you're right.
I told her that I'm going to pray. I believe in Jesus. I'm going to pray. So I said, go ahead. And so I prayed for a very simple prayer. Sitting on that plane, we were airborne.
Yeah.
Like 20, 30,000 feet up in the air. And I take my hand, put it on shoulder, and one hand on her hands, and I pray. I pray in the name of Jesus Christ that all the pain may go away, that your limbs become nimble and supple, and that you're able to extend your hands. Yeah. And Lord Jesus, I'm just being obedient to what you have said in your word. And I said, Amen. And I sat there. Yeah. I sat there. I was like, thinking, what is this guy doing to the old woman? You kind of embarrassed. That thought is always there to a stranger, because we were strangers.
Yeah.
But you know what? After I opened my eyes, she was still. She didn't move.
Really?
She didn't move. She was like this. And because I was embarrassed also. And now, you're like, why? Because when we do something, we expect result. but now I'm not somebody who is giving you, I'm not the one to heal. God has to do his work.
Yes, yes.
It's gone to God's office. The petition has gone. And so what happened? 1 minute later, there's a moment of awkward silence, and then she says, "Beta," she moved her fingers. "Beta, dard to gaya. I don't feel the pain anymore, and I can extend my fingers." Believe me, I was as shocked as this
Yes.
lady.
And can I relate to you
Yeah.
here? I had exactly a similar thing.
Really?
Yes, my prayers
Wow.
being answered then and there.
Yeah.
And this is very close to what you just told me,
Yeah.
My sister, she was suffering from breast cancer, undergoing chemotherapy at that time.
Yeah.
And one fatal night, she got her fever to her brain, 105,
Oh man.
right? And I was pregnant with my firstborn. I was there, my mom, my dad, and her husband, right? So there was, at that time, something strange happened that there was no doctor available. It was very strange because normally every floor have doctors,
Yeah.
But that time, the cancer doctor, the chemotherapy doctor wasn't there on the floor. I rushed back and I said, "We don't have any option. There's no doctor." And she was like going up and down because it was 105 and she was burning with
Terrible.
fever. Yeah. So her husband, he just told all of us to go out and he said, "Let me try the body sponge." Okay. And he kept on, he just shut the door and all of us are in the corridor. So I moved to the balcony, a small balcony there. And I have no other thing, Vikram. I don't have any choice because I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
So I just, fold my hands like this. I don't even know whom I prayed to because I believe in every God. I follow my Hinduism because I'm born into it. I follow the Bible because there where I studied, all English schools, all missionary schools. I'm married to a Sikh, right? And my best friends are, they read the Holy Quran. So I believe in secularism, and that's the most beautiful part about our country, that we all are friends, right? So coming back to that point, I started praying, and I was like, God, you take me away. You take everything, my child, me. I don't want anything. Just spare my sister. And after 5 to 10 minutes, her husband opened up the door, the room door in that hospital, and my sister was stable. So tell me something, like the same thing you had
The fever had gone down?
gone down and she came back to her normal self.
Wow.
And of course, she wasn't that energetic. She was still
Yeah.
on bed. But there was no danger now. And then the doctors came in.
Wow.
And then immediately the doctors took control.
I mean,
This was the first experience in
Yeah.
life where I started believing in prayers.
wow. And it happened in a few minutes. So after you prayed, few minutes later, her body temperature went down
Yes.
and she came to normal. She was not trembling anymore in fever.
Yes, scientifically, people will say that her husband, of course, he was working hard with the body sponge.
Yeah.
But then there was somebody praying outside, and that was me.
I don't think so. The fever can go down from 105 to
5 to,
normal
yes.
just by
Yes,
body sponge.
This is where the mystery is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe. So do you believe it was a miracle?
It was a miracle. It was the greatest miracle.
Wow.
Yes.
That's an amazing story. And I'm sure your faith increased in prayer after that.
Yes, I mean to say, I feel that prayer is not something that you have to go to a place to.
Yeah.
I'm sitting with you right in front of you, and if I want, I can talk to God right now.
Yeah, that's the beauty.
What I want right now.
Yeah, that's the beauty about,
It's talking to God about your worries, and that strength is inside you. That God is telling you that everything will be fine. That
Yeah.
voice inside you after praying.
Yeah.
Don't you think there's a relief, a sense of satisfaction in you?
Well, the days I don't pray,
Anxiety?
I feel my
Restless.
spirit is disturbed. Restless.
Restless.
Restless is the word. Restless.
I feel rest.
Yeah. And every time I pray and I spend time, quiet time, I feel at peace, calm. And I can go about my day with confidence, with calm, no matter what is happening around the world. The other day, I had a sort of, not exactly altercation, but a tough talk with somebody on the phone. And I had to tell him something very straight up front. And the person reacted in a way he felt threatened, and he also got really, sort of, I wouldn't say rude, but a little
little
tough.
yeah.
And so it read, but I was able to keep calm because every morning I spend time in prayer, and that sort of sets the mood for the rest of the day.
And I have started doing it in my house. My one of my daughter gets a
Yeah.
little cranky when you wake her up in the morning for school. She's going to shout at me for that. See, I'm revealing a secret. When I go home, she's going to shout.
Spilling the beans.
Yes. So I started, and I was dreading her, waking
Yeah.
her up as a mother, because then she'll start crying, and
Yeah.
I don't like that negativity, because
Right.
I'm a depression patient. So I feel it as a negativity, right?
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm so sensitive to it.
Yeah.
So what I started doing, I started playing
Yeah.
prayer on my YouTube. It's a big television, and my house is a very small house. So in the drawing room, if there is a prayer going on, she can listen to it in the bedroom.
Wow.
And now she gets up from the past 3 days, I'm observing, she gets up, she doesn't blame anyone for waking
Yeah.
her up late,
Wow.
and she's in a very, very nice mood. So
that's beautiful.
I think nobody is realizing, but I am realizing the power of prayer, even in such a small gesture
Yeah.
of my daughter waking up in the morning.
Absolutely.
And whenever I have my
Yeah.
fears, whenever I pray, things come, things just work out,
Yeah.
Things just work out.
Wow. I want to talk about, there's one point when we were talking the other day, you said that, following your first divorce, I mean, not first, but when your first marriage broke up, you said some words like, did you feel
Displaced and dismantled.
Yeah.
Because everything was so far so good,
Yeah.
and I was looking to a beautiful future with a man, my partner.
Yeah.
And I always believe in marriage. I will always believe in marriage as an institution, because my
Yeah.
parents had a lovely marriage.
Yeah.
And they both were, of course, every relationship has its own ups and downs and fights and this and that, arguments.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they had very innocent and very true love in between them, which
Yeah.
was each other's strength.
Right.
So I was expecting the same from my partner. And I wanted children,
Yeah.
right, in a couple of years with him.
Yeah.
And it suddenly, it was like a jerk,
Yeah.
like I was just thrown into a dungeon, to be very honest.
Yeah.
I felt that dark at that point of time. All my dreams dashed. And what was the ray of hope? I didn't know, because I was the first one out of the 3 sisters. So what an
Yeah.
example for the rest of the 2. They'll start dreading marriage.
Did you talk to anybody about this, what you were going through?
Yes, my Dr. Bhushan. I wasn't that close to my dad in discussing my deepest feelings,
course.
because
Yeah.
dad is like, in
Yeah.
India, dad is like at a higher pedestal.
And
You can't get that close to him.
Exactly. And at times you cannot go deep into what you're feeling, Sometimes it's out of protection also. Maybe you don't want to put that burden on them. You don't want them to worry so much about you. A lot of times children hide things from them. I mean, the same way parents don't share their worries with the children, same way when we grow up, when we begin to understand, we hide things from our parents just because we don't want them to worry, And so I'm sure you were hiding things, but did you find a confidant or somebody?
Yes. Okay. The medication part, Dr. Bhushan was always there.
Yeah.
But then I came across a friend. Okay. And you know his name. It's okay. Just leave it. And this gentleman was already into a relationship with somebody. He was going around with someone. So I felt very safe with him, because then he was just a friend.
Yeah.
It was just a gender. He's a boy and I'm a girl. And till date, he's my best friend. He's always there. Some strong telepathy between us. Whenever I'm in trouble, he makes a call.
Wow.
Some strong thing. And at that time, he told me, first he healed me, like you said. Because my cousin used to date his friend. So we used to be on she used to date his friend, and I used to be her her partner in the crime, because she's going and dating at that time in the 90s.
Yeah.
And she was like, I was there for moral support. So I had no choice and he had no choice. We had to talk. We were just passing time and they were dating.
Right.
So he told me that he made me accept that something wrong has happened. My relationship is no more. He made me cry.
And until then, were you ignoring it? Were you ignoring the truth, the fact?
Yes. Again, work was becoming an escape. So busy.
Yeah.
Come home, watch Friends. Friends was the comedy thing which makes you laugh for another half an hour in life. Friends really saved me, and a lot of people. I think it was a beautiful. It is my favorite sitcom till 2025. It's going so well. So they were my friends. They were my imaginary or TV friends, but they kept me going somewhere.
Wow.
I used to look forward to 7:30 in the evening to watch, or 8 o'clock to watch Friends, and then have meal and read a book and go to sleep, and then next morning rewind. Saturday, Sunday, go out to coffee day, have a cup of coffee. In the whole day, we were girls, we were busy decking up, getting up, taking a shower, and then wearing clothes, jewelry, and then meeting friends, common friends, no relationships. I was never into a relationship after my divorce. Till I met my second husband. That was around 10 years, I told you. So I used to go and meet my friends and talk to them. Some of them were going around, some of them were loners. And I was the observing, what they want. And so it was nice. I got a lot of friend support from my youngest sister, Anupma. And she is my pillar of strength till date, because her 2 words, this is my message to anybody going through the darkest phase in their life. This is for the future generation. This is Anupma's 2 words. They were just 2 words. If you see yourself in any of the life's darkest situation, bounce back. Because Anupma told me to bounce back.
The other day I was telling somebody.
Just 2 words.
That's amazing. I love the picture, bounce back. The other day I was telling somebody, I'm a crazy ball. We used to have crazy ball. The harder I fall to the ground, the higher I bounce back.
Yes,
I love that.
It's
bounce
such a coincidence, like we're talking both about just a couple of... And this bounce back, whenever in life there is a situation where I'm giving up. Never give up.
Never give up.
B, bounce back.
Bounce back.
Because never give up is your strength is there. You are recognizing it. And bounce back is emerging like a phoenix.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It's thanks to Anupma, my pillar of strength. My youngest sister, who's an author, writer. So she thinks deep.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
That's
authors and creative people think deep about life.
Absolutely. Was there ever, when you were, on medication, and for the next 10 years, you dedicated your life to business, building your business and your academy, was there ever a time where you came to a breaking point?
Life kept me going, because my father was wise enough to get my younger sister, my middle sister, married before my second marriage. He said, now you take a break, because, first you have to, normally what happens in the Indian society and a lot of other societies, that once a marriage fails, they want their divorcee daughter to get married first. And foremost, because then the social taboo, the social stigma will get eliminated. Ki ghar mein, at home, there is this divorcee sister sitting at home. But my father was a visionary feminist. I think that's the right word. Respected women. So he said, now my responsibility is with the middle sister. So he got her married. Okay. And the youngest one was busy studying, doing her law, MBA, topping Delhi University. She was in her education and career mode. And we supporting her from every perspective, financially, strength, everything, But then that loneliness was haunting me. Nobody pressurized me. Work was going great. But that void, that I am a man's woman. I get joy in the simplest of thing, that I love decking up for a man. Today I'm decked up because I want my husband to see me that I was looking good on the podcast. Right?
Well, you did a great job. You did a fantastic job. I think so. You look awesome.
Thank you.
And especially your style and what you're wearing with the combination of black and the muted golden, embellishment here looks amazing.
This is the Indian modern combination, because the golden Zardosi is the lining. That proverb, every cloud has a silver lining.
Absolutely.
So the dark color, the black color is the cloud, and this is the lining shining.
Wow.
So that's why I'm wearing this.
What a metaphor.
It's not just black and gold for me,
I didn't see it like that. Now I'm seeing you in totally different light. The way you said the black is the darkness.
The demon.
Yeah, the demon, we can say, and the golden is the silver lining.
And why a silver lining? Because I'm not fond of silver. I'm fond of gold. So that's gold lining. Silver doesn't suit me. I'm a designer first.
Gold is even better. I like gold. Gold lining.
And you know what? See, like diamonds are formed under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
How gold? Tell me, Vikram, how gold is formed?
Well, I had a friend who has a jewelry shop, but he never told me. He kept it a secret. He said, if I tell you, you'll go and start
Making
gold
your
business.
own?
Oh, yeah. So he never told me. You tell me.
Okay, again,
Yeah.
I'll say a line in Hindi and you translate for
Okay,
me.
I'll try that. Yeah.
सोना तप के बनता है.
Gold is made purer in the furnace.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless gold goes through the furnace via heat, it does not become pure.
And what is our heat right now? The depression?
Heat is all the suffering, all the things that mental struggle is
right
a
now.
big
The
hit.
podcast theme is like mental struggle, the anxiety, the depression.
Yeah.
So that's the furnace.
That's the furnace.
And who are we talking about it? Emerging from it, we are the gold.
We are the
so
gold.
every cloud has a gold lining for me.
Amazing! What a beautiful analogy. Yeah.
Because gold, I'm not fond of silver, but why I like gold is because of this. And it suits me, of course.
It suits you, absolutely. No doubt about it.
Yes, thank you, Vikram.
I mean, when you told me that you're going to do your wardrobe and you offered me as well,
yes.
I said, man, the one thing that we cannot doubt is that we both are going to look good on the set.
and trust me, other than our makeup, other than our jewelry, other than what you're wearing, a nice kurta, black, it's our honesty, Vikram, which is going to be our biggest jewel in this podcast.
That is true.
So that's coming directly from the soul.
Yeah.
We're talking from the soul right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever is listening, I'm sure they're resonating with it.
Yeah, I believe that. Authenticity, we have to keep it authentic. So when the time came for you to find a match?
Shadi.com. Because it was anonymous for me. Nobody knew me there. And local, everybody knew. I didn't want to meet anyone in person and have a cup of coffee. And then I had so many memories with this town that my father said, now you should change your place. You should go out and see the world. Don't stick to only getting married in Dehradun. Don't let business interfere with your personal decision anymore. Don't let money become a negativity in your future dreams.
Or holding you back.
Or holding you back, right words. So then Shadi.com, it wasn't easy. It was 5 years of meeting these great gentlemen, all divorcees, because I was of the opinion that I'll only marry a man who's married before, because only then the seriousness of a marriage and the experience of a marriage will be there. It was very easy for me to find a man who will marry me at one go because I was pretty looking and famous and doing well in life. There will be many kind-hearted gentlemen who will come forward and marry me. No. I told my family that I only want to marry a man who's been married before. A, he's seen marriage. He knows what a marriage is. B, in India, third marriages are very rare, so I didn't want to give him a chance. Honestly, I'm so clever. So I didn't want to get into this breaking thing and a threat going in my mind that he has another chance to get rid of me or get rid of the marriage. I'm being so honest.
No,
that didn't want to give him another chance.
And how
the pressure of second marriages was in 90s too good to keep one woman and man together itself in a Punjabi family.
The pressure has definitely been lifted these days.
Yes, but somewhere that pressure was good. I still appreciate the society because the society, majority. Society means majority.
Majority, yeah.
They always tell you the truth. I know it's bitter. I know it's bitter for a lot of people to take in. But society eventually wants the good because they are also involved.
Yeah.
So I always listen to my elders, one thing, and I always listen to the society.
So how many men did you date? For the 5 years, he said 5 years you were
5 years span is and I used to catch up the Shatabdi, then from Nizamuddin railway station till my sister's house, then my sister and my Jiju, my sister's husband, they used to fix up a formal atmosphere where we could meet, I could meet, and there were different procedures. We started with meeting the parents first, then we discovered no, it's not the right way because suddenly we didn't click. So finally, after so much experience, our family boiled down to that first Vimy will go meet this gentleman, this divorcee, whom she's finalized over the biodata and photographs, of course, and see, first I used to also talk to them over the phone for a couple of days to analyze whether...
So the first step, after you made your selection, the next step was to talk to them over the phone.
Over the phone. And know what they want.
And if you felt that you sort of had similar interests or you sort of clicked with that person, then the next step would be to meet them personally.
Yeah, mostly it was them calling me to Delhi and Gurgaon and Noida. These were my three
areas where you were looking for.
Because these are close to Dehradun. And we being three sisters, I wanted to be close to my mama and papa. Because then who will take care of them,
Right.
So I always wanted. And my sister was based in Noida at that time. So this was why I had chosen these three areas. And most of the multinationals were here at that time. So people were doing good jobs.
Right.
Because financial issue is also very important because I had certain standards in life. And I can't live without them, I'll be very honest.
Yeah.
I want them. Of course, it's a love marriage, love is really blind. Sometimes you get swayed. I'll do this for you. But this Shaadi.com platform is totally arranged. You don't fall in love at one go,
Yeah.
So after talking to them, I used to visit them to Delhi, Gurgaon over a cup of coffee at Barista or Barista was very famous at that time.
Yeah, Barista was famous at that time,
And then if I like them and they like me, it has to be mutual, right? Sometimes they never liked me, sometimes I didn't like them because it was like, oh no, in meeting them. Even after the phone discussion, But majority of the times, I never used to hurt them. Okay, I always respected because whatever adversity they had come to meet me. And somewhere as a clever girl, I was always like, my dad lost confidence, because of this one divorce of mine. So if every gentleman calls up home and tells my dad that we like your daughter, when is the next meeting? He'll get some sort of self-confidence in him. Got it? Vikram, did you get it? It's a very deep insight. But if my father gets a call from this gentleman whom I meet in Delhi or Gurgaon over a cup of coffee that we want to go ahead, we want to come and visit your house, or so that thing will make my dad come out of his shell that, oh no, I think my daughter is all fine, I'm all fine, He won't tell me, he's never spoken, but that unspoken thing, So I wanted to enhance his confidence. So what I started doing, I started respecting, putting in my best, like as if it's some chat show going on, and in the end, everybody, I mean to say, out of 100 guys, if I don't brag, 85 must have always been positive.
Wow, that's a quite high win rate.
Yes.
Out of 185, 85% success rate.
Yes.
And so what, out of these 85%, then what made you choose the one? Because 85 is a high number.
Very beautiful
You
question.
just can marry one.
Yes.
So how did you zero in on that person?
Okay. A lot of people used to, on Shaadi.com, you have to be careful, okay? A lot of people will try to woo you with their strengths. If a person is rich, he will flaunt his money, okay? If a person is good looking, he will flaunt his good looks. If a person is well educated, he will flaunt his degrees and positions. But I wanted to marry beyond that. I wanted to marry a person who had values. Of course, all these things are important, but to get to that core, that was very important for me. So with this gentleman who is now my husband, the first thing, I scrolled him up because he was wearing specs and I was this arrogant lady who And right now I'm wearing contact lenses. I do wear specs at home. Okay. But I was like, oh God, no specky, like this. Look at this arrogance in that age because I was so younger. And then suddenly I saw that behind that lens of his, behind the specs of his, they're very cute, innocent eyes. So I scrolled back. You call it scrolling up and down, right?
Yeah.
So I scrolled back and I looked into his eyes and I said, okay, let me see the next one. And he was looking so handsome. He was like in front of, I think, some palace in London. And I shared it on FB that day, Edinburgh, Scotland. And I get attracted to tall men.
Yeah.
I don't know, some disorder. Okay. So the looks, now in a photograph, it's the looks, right?
Yeah.
And then you go through the biodata.
Yeah.
The biodata was so strange. Now I really felt God again. How, Vikram?
Wow.
Seriously, it'll give you goosebumps. Now, I'm in love with his photographs. The second step is his biodata. It was history repeating.
Really?
How? My ex, there were 3 brothers.
Right.
2 abroad.
Yeah.
He in India.
Wow.
The biodata I'm reading is 3 brothers, 2 abroad, he in India. So this is again, it's like I felt that this was a flashback suddenly.
Yeah.
And lives alone with parents and all that. And then I saw his qualification working very good and very educated and very nice. So a very good combination of studies.
Right.
And then there was a very, very small thing which a lot of people might not even notice, Vikram. And especially in a world where people came to woo me or other women today also, they must be doing it with their Mercedes Benz or a big BMW. In India, it's more of a show off than a need,
Yeah.
I know abroad BMWs and Mercedes are very common, a Ferrari is very common for some people, but here it's more of a show off.
It's a status symbol.
Status symbol.
Yeah.
Yes. So now in his biodata, he's written his salary, which I don't remember.
Yeah.
And till date, I don't know his salary because I don't want to stress myself. He's giving me everything. He's my provider.
Yeah.
I don't want to doubt him. He had written that my bonus was 12,000 rupees more. So this is a very small thing, but this man values 12,000. His salary was in lakhs, okay? And he says that my bonus this year was 12,000 rupees. So that means he's humble enough to value the 12,000 rupee bonus. And he has the courage to write it on his biodata to a woman he wants for life. And I told my dad, this is it. I will marry him. Wow. And then there was a procedure. I met him in his house, and his father was also a depression patient. So now my threshold was either, if I tell him about my and now I'm coming to the most important message of today's podcast. That when you are choosing your partners in a relationship, in a marriage, or anywhere, according to the cultures of the various countries and cities, please be transparent in telling your partners or friends or family members, whoever are around you, that you are suffering from depression. Do not lie. Do not escape from it. Do not let the social stigma, hinder you in coming out with the truth you have.
And did you hide it from your husband?
For a while, when I was dating him.
So when you married him, he didn't know that you suffered from...
No. Before getting married to him, I told him.
Oh, okay.
Because my conscience... Initially, yes, I didn't tell him because it's not about hiding. I knew I will tell him, but that comfort level, let me come to that level that I really want to marry you. A couple of dates.
Right.
Come and see your house. I want to meet your mom because it's like spending the rest of my life with them also, with other family members. It's an Indian family, so we have to see that. We women have to see that.
So when did you break this news to him that you suffer from this mental illness?
Before getting married, and before starting any of the ceremonies or any talks in between the parents. After a couple of dates, I told him that I'm sorry. I know that you and when you fall in love, it's like You don't want to tell him your weaknesses because all that mushy thing is there.
Mushy, yeah. And of course,
you want to, but then you're so scared. So that's why I'm telling the younger generation that, and I'll come to this point that what made me eventually come and tell him. Before meeting him, I met this another chap who was very well settled, very good looking. But he told me one thing, and I came back home and I said that, no, I will not meet him again. You know why?
Yeah, why?
Because this gentleman, he told me, I said, what led to your divorce and all that? He said, oh, my wife lied to me. She didn't tell me she was a depression patient. And she used to eat medicines. She was undergoing therapy also. And she couldn't get up for work sometimes. Her work was suffering. Her finances were suffering.
Oh my.
I never want that responsibility again in my life. It was a jolt for me.
Of course.
God, like, first, you are the last man for me on this planet, not even the last. Because you don't have that kindness in you, the sympathies in you for what this other person. Okay, I agree that person must have lied, but that's out of fear.
Fear of rejection.
Because the society, fear of rejection, because the society is not coming in support. See, Corona, everybody was getting affected, so everybody started supporting. But depression and mental health is in minority because not everybody is affected. See, if you compare it to a pandemic or an epidemic, of course, it's the onset of an epidemic. I'm telling you somewhere, but it's in its budding stage. So everybody's saying, "Mujhe to nahi hai. I don't have it. Why should I care?"
I think so. It's always been there, but it has never come out. It is, like I remember when I was a kid, when I first felt this emptiness or hollow feeling. I once told, I didn't know what depression was, but I said, "Mom, I think I'm depressed." I just said, and she said, "Aise baat nahi karte. We don't talk like this." Like chiding me or sort of reprimanding me. We don't talk this way. Stop saying that word. So it's shunned away. There's social stigma, like you said. We know it's on the rise, especially with younger people and the way they're brought up and the way they're growing up with technology. We didn't grow up with that technology, So definitely it has impact in the longer run on their mental health. But I think generally there was...
You know why it's coming to India now or developing nations now? Because of the reels, because of the social media, because it was in the West long time back also. The therapy, the counseling was very common.
It was there.
But how many people were watching Star and HBO? A very minute population of the country who was well versed in English. But today the reels are coming in Hindi because people are making it in Hindi. So we are reaching out to the population. So everybody's taking guts that, okay, that person did it in US, the person did it in Africa, the person did it in Russia. So I'm going to open about in India. And that's why we have people like you and Karthik and other people I've met, who are coming out and open to talk about this.
So there are a lot more people suffering, with this issue with mental illness or depression. But I think so they just need the courage to come out. They need that courage to start speaking about it. Because if you don't speak about
normalize it.
Yeah, normalize it.
Normalize it. Yeah.
Otherwise the healing will not start.
See, it's more than why should we have this fear inside? Because fear, then it's gonna enhance that negativity, na? So I have embraced it, like with open arms. If anybody comes to me today, are you a depression patient? Yes, I am. I can help you how to escape it. So when you come to terms with your own illness, whether it's cancer, whether it's any other illness, it's anything in life, any negativity. Half the battle is won when you embrace it with openness.
When you embrace it, when you acknowledge it. Healing begins when you acknowledge that you're suffering from this illness, right?
Yes.
Unless because...
don't escape from it.
Don't escape, because one of the things you said earlier was when your friend confronted and said, accept that your marriage is over. Sometimes you have to accept those things in life that they have happened and you cannot do anything about it, right?
Yes. And don't blame it on you. Blame it on the stars, Milli Vanilli. That's my favorite number, one of them. Whatever you do, don't put the blame on you. And put it
Take
on
responsibility.
Yes, put it on the stars, put it on destiny. See, if we believe in God, there is destiny also. A lot of people believe in karma also. So do good. I also believe in karma. Life is full circle. If you will do good, good will come to you. And that's another way of healing depression.
Yeah.
Because then if you will start thinking about good, it's positive thoughts in mind.
Right.
So your negativity takes
What
a
do you
back
think?
seat.
Now you've been, you said the first time you felt that emptiness, it was back in 94?
Yeah.
Was it in
School,
1994?
yeah.
You were in school, you were a young girl, 16, 17 years old. So you've spent your adulthood until now suffering and coping with this, illness. What do you think? What have you learned about this illness? Is it inherited or is it the circumstances? What is the cause of it?
Yes. I believe it's in my genes also.
Okay.
And the certain situations which come in my life triggers it.
Okay.
Then that leads to a major breakdown. At that time, I really need a medical practitioner and a doctor to give me medicines. And after 15, 20 days, I am back as normal.
Okay. And when do these breakdowns? You said you break down.
Triggers.
What affects that breakdown?
Some deep thinking about an underlying problem, which I will also not come to know that I'm thinking about it. But suddenly, subconsciously, I am pondering over it day and night.
What is that? Is that some event that you think about that has happened in the past?
For example, in my first marriage, it was my divorce. It triggered.
Yeah.
And before then, that school examination, I had to drop my exams. That got triggered.
That failure.
That failure. So whenever there is something sad or some failure engulfing, but when my dad got cancer, and my sister got cancer, at the same time, I was married, happy with 2 children. I never had my work because I'd left my work.
Yeah, at that time, it was a happy phase of your life.
Here my sister got diagnosed with cancer. The same time, I get married to my husband.
Okay.
So he's there as a support. There is some happiness. But at the same time, I was not able to enjoy my happiness because my sister got cancer.
Right.
So both the things. But what I did was I used to go for a chemotherapy all decked up like a newlywed. Because I was giving her a message that, look, your sister is doing so well. This positivity kept my whole family going under cancer treatments. Not only for my sister, but later on with my father. So 10 years I was like in hospitals. Even when I used to go for my sister's chemotherapy, I was pregnant, and all the people in the cancer ward used to look at me as if, oh God, I hope it's not with you or something. I hope the child is safe inside you. So I was like, no, I'm fine. And I used to joke around next to her, send her some positive vibes, and okay, I'm here. I used to make her feel normal. I'm with you for 1 hour, then I'm going on a date with Rocky because I also went for my honeymoon. Her first chemotherapy, I was in Shimla. Honeymooning. Imagine. Now, I was very stupid also, you can call me, and naive also, but that became my family's strength at that time. Because my dad, एक tension गई, तो दूसरी आ गई. My daughter got now settled. Now he doesn't have to look for boys and other stuff. He doesn't have to worry iska kya hoga. That has come to a full stop.
Right.
Now his worry was his other daughter. So rock bottom hit karoge, God will balance it also.
Okay.
So my good marriage became a strength for my family.
Right.
And I think that was the strength that my sister recovered and everything. And of course I lost my dad because of his age and late detection of cancer. And he was 76, 75. So.
What cancer did he have?
This one, prostate.
Prostate.
It's in the genes again.
Okay, it's genetic.
Because my sister is a breast cancer survivor. So it's somewhere in the genes, prostate and breast, something.
You said
the doctors said that. And I got a lump just 3 years before in an MRI or scanning, whatever it is known as. So, but when I met the doctor, he said it's not malignant, it's benign. So
it's benign.
But I have to go for my annual checkups, which I am not going for. I know a lot of people will not like it.
You should go for your regular checkups.
But then I am like, what has to... I have my own philosophy. What has to happen will happen in life.
But also, I would say that you should be able to detect it early enough.
Yes, I agree.
Treat it.
I agree with that.
I mean, a lot of people say, okay, when it has to happen, a lot of lives could have been saved just because if they had been detected timely. in time for
But that
them?
also puts me in fear, you know. And my anxiety is fear.
Okay.
You know, nobody will understand this deep feeling. Some will call me mad only.
Yeah.
But my deepest fear is I don't want to live in fear. You know,
Okay.
as a mother, there is always this fear of death in me. And a lot of parents undergo. You're my two little kids. What if something happens to me? And that's why insurance sells. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, that's the thing. They sell,
They encash our insecurity. Matlab,
insecurity,
of course,
they
I'm not
cash our
against anything.
insecurity
It's a
and
very
fear.
good thing.
Yeah.
You know, but insurance always sells
There are
on
two ways
this
to sell.
human sentiment.
There are two ways to sell.
Yeah, sure.
Fear or allure them. Right?
And I don't want to live in fear anymore because I've had too much of fear in life. So of course I will go for my checkup.
Yeah.
I'm doing very healthy. I go for my exercises at home.
Yeah.
I keep very active. I have a good diet schedule and drink lots and lots of water. That's my message. That's my mantra. You want to look younger? Go to the gym and drink lots of water.
Great.
Yeah. Or work out anywhere. Right? Because I'm going to be 50 next year.
Awesome. Wow.
So I don't know what you think.
You don't look 50.
Yeah, but I want to spread this message that
you look 10 years younger.
touch wood. I mean, that's the biggest compliment.
Yeah.
So things like that.
So talking about depression, you said it runs in your genes as well?
Yes.
Who else in your family has suffered from this?
I can recall my father's brothers.
Father's brother. And what did
And my mother also has OCD and a little bit of depression and victimhood. She goes into that phase where I counsel her every evening using my video calls from my place.
Okay,
because she lives in a different city now.
So you counsel your mother?
Yes. And I'm very good. And while counseling, I get healed myself only. Oh God, because I talk so much of positivity that by the end of it, I'm so positive.
It's cathartic. The ones who are the therapists who help others have at some point in their life gone through the same thing. Otherwise, that's the way they can understand the other person.
Yes.
I mean, how can I try to help you if I myself have not gone through? Because the person will not know what you're going through. So I can only help you if I've gone through the same path.
You have to push them, you know, come out of the victim mode. Like my mom will say, oh, the driver is not there, nobody is there to drop me. Walk down, mom. It's just a few blocks away. Walk down. You take the maid, you cannot walk because she cannot walk properly. She has problem with her knees. So the housemaid will take her, or if my sister is home because she's also working, you know, you have to balance both, right?
Yeah, true.
She's very good. She's single and she's taking care of her. So we have to balance. And I tell mom that, you know, when I will be your age, hopefully, and I pray to God, I will never stay with my daughters till the time me and my spouse is there. After my daughters get married or get into any relationship, I don't know what the future holds for them. I will stay alone with my partner. And if I'm the only one, then I don't mind the senior cares because I don't want to snatch away the most beautiful and the most precious years of my young daughters enjoying their married life because of my any sickness or I don't want anyone to take care of me. You understand, Vikram?
So you don't want to live with your daughters?
No.
Once they get married?
No.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people will disagree, but the deep hidden love is that I love them unconditionally.
You love them so much that you don't want...
I'll be away from, I'll detach myself. Because, you know, at that time, they will have their partners.
Exactly.
And the future generation is not that emotional. This 90 generation was still very emotional about fathers and mothers. This generation, which is now coming up, it's very mechanical, let me tell you.
Really?
Yes. Because... it's like they're like, we don't care.
Why is that happening?
Machines and globalization and westernization and competition.
Competition.
Yes. And everything instant. You told me that, Vikram. You told me that, remember?
Yeah, the convenience that is...
Instant gratification, if I'm not wrong.
That's it. Instant
I remember
gratification.
Your words. You told me that.
Instant gratification.
Yes.
Everything at the click of your finger, you know.
Now the future generation is going to talk like your mom, you take care. Me, my mom, I take care. It's going to happen. I can see that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
So before that happens to our daughters, that someone tells them, your mom.
I used to hear, you know.
I won't give them the liberty to tell my daughters or my if I would have sons or something. Like till the time I can take care of myself, I will. Otherwise, I'll pay and, you know. I live my life in a senior care. I'm
Senior
happy.
care, yeah.
And they can come and visit me once in a week or
course.
twice or every day or might be once in 6 months. I'm happy. Because I tell my spouse, my husband is very different from this philosophy. But I tell him this is going to happen. My sisters have agreed to this,
Wow.
And we have a plan also that, in the same gated senior care community, we might sisters live together, for ground floor, first floor and second floor.
That's great. I love that.
That's quite a plan.
I think it's a very unconventional thinking according to Indian culture, but I like it. It's very good. I wouldn't want to live with.
And I'm not going to blame anybody that they are not coming to visit me.
No, of course.
Because it's my choice.
Yeah.
It's not them sending me to an old age home or a senior care. It's my choice.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Wow.
And my choice is because I want to live with dignity. I will not be comfortable in a person's house even for an hour if I feel like I'm a burden. And that's why I'm very bad at meeting my relatives, because I mostly check in hotels. I don't go to their houses because they have work, they have the kids have school homework.
Yeah.
So I like to meet them for 1 hour, 2 hour over lunch or dinner, but I never stay.
You never stay at your in-laws' place?
No, with in-laws is different.
With in-laws, okay.
Like, for example, if my husband's brother, if he invites me to his house, then I will check, because he lives abroad, right? Then it's my duty to not to burden, because abroad there are no household helps.
No,
they have to go for work.
True.
So I'll check in, I'll call him for a drink or something and all, and enjoy with me a couple of hours. Then he can go back and I'm happy in my hotel.
Cool.
I'll tell them honestly, if I've ever come to, I have not been abroad in my life, but if I ever go to Australia or London to meet them, and that's my strategy, and I've told their wives also.
Check into the hotel. Don't trouble them.
No.
I'm gonna come back to our main theme, that is depression. And were you ever given a professional diagnosis that you suffer from this? Now you know depression, but did Dr. Bhushan give you sort of a diagnosis? You suffer from blah, blah, blah?
Verbal?
Yeah, verbal or written?
Written? I don't understand the handwritings doctors have. No offense. Okay. But yes, I was very small and class 12, so I didn't argue much what I have, whatever medicines they gave. And then it was so much bonding that I didn't want to know what I have. Though in his clinic, I used to read the bipolar and that the one you have to pronounce. Come up with that.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, I call it sycophonia.
Sycophonia.
Yeah, that's the easier one. And I laugh it loud, right?
Yeah.
And bipolar and this, and then depression. So I used to be all confused, one is symptom is from there, one is from there, that's how the people in the waiting area respond, I'm sure. So I never asked him. And
you were never told that you suffer from depression?
No, in fact, can I tell you something?
Yeah, tell me.
Whenever I used to come out, my dad used to walk in to talk at a one-to-one level with the doctor, that how is my daughter doing?
Yeah.
And at that time, I used to be out in the waiting area. That's my dad's counseling with him.
Okay, got it.
Right? Like, how is my daughter doing? So whenever he used to come out, my father, he used to come out smiling.
Right.
And because I had this self-complex that something is wrong with me, I used to ask my dad, Papa, doctor ne kya kaha? Like, what did the doctor say? What did he tell you?
Yeah.
Though he used to always smile, his body language was always so proud, and he used to tell me that you are a genius, Now, my dad is no more, so I can't ask him, but this is one question I like to ask him if I ever meet him again. Did he really say that I was a genius, or it was just the moral support he wanted to give me? You got it?
Yeah, I understand.
You got it, what I'm trying to say? But his body language and his smile, I don't know, he always used to say, you were a genius. Then I started...
So when did you get to know that you suffer from depression? When did you get that understanding?
Just, you won't believe.
Yeah, tell me.
Exactly, okay, after so many years, a situation happened in the house where somebody Googled, that my medicine is not a depression. Somebody Googled my medicine.
Okay.
Now I want to keep it a secret. Who?
Yeah.
So, and Google, it's It can it's database. So
Google can
it's
throw
not
you
a
off.
doctor. It's Google
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not a
Google can
doctor.
confuse you.
And so that medicine is also for the schizophrenia, right?
Schizophrenia.
Correct.
I like sycophenia.
Yeah.
Guys, sycophenia. I like that word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's easy for me.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so like sick, you know.
It
It's go
is
away,
sick.
go
Yeah.
away kinds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like so.
Yeah.
And I said no, I have depression because I think the doctor never used these terms for me.
So this person Googled and found the symptoms that you have relate to
And
schizophrenia.
he accused me that you don't have depression, you have this.
You have schizophrenia.
Now I got very confused
Wow.
because what I
Yeah.
have now, it
Yeah.
was a self-doubt.
Yeah.
Had it been someone else now, I mean to say, that person would be totally broken.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, if you trust somebody, you kind of rely that the person is right.
Right.
But I always rely on my gut feeling and my instinct. I was like, no, this is,
Okay.
call up my sister.
Right.
She said no. Once I went to doctor in your absence, I asked what is wrong with my sister. So I remember Dr. Bhushan saying that it's depression. But no, I didn't believe my sister. I wanted some medical practitioner to write on a piece of paper. You know why?
Yeah.
That so that I can show this other person who's very important to me in life that this is it. And my sister is not saying, my mother is not saying, because they'll be biased, you know.
Right.
They're my family.
Right.
This is this neutral medical practitioner telling you.
Right.
So that no one can accuse me. Okay. Then I saw Honey Singh documentary on bipolar. Did you see it, Vikram?
No, not yet.
Okay,
But I
do
want to watch it later.
Do
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
What I like about that documentary is that
Yeah.
Honey Singh has been very honest
Yeah.
about all his faults and his life experiences.
Okay.
And the most beautiful thing, why I'm today is here, is because of Honey Singh only. He's making a comeback.
Yeah.
So I lost a speech, and today I'm speaking in front of the cameras, in front of Vikram. Deng pause, right?
Yeah.
It's big thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm speaking non-stop.
Yeah.
And I haven't even prepared anything. It's all impromptu. So this is my confidence
Yeah.
of watching a person
Yeah.
who was suffering from not exactly the same thing, but
Yeah.
Honey Singh was suffering from bipolar.
Bipolar.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And my spiritual faith,
Yeah.
which I could see in Honey Singh also, that he started believing in God.
Yeah.
Because his last statement in the documentaries,
Yeah.
Mujh pe Mata Rani ka haath hai. Now, he says it in Hindi and Punjabi, in a rap, kind. But I also believe in God.
So his story really inspired you that there is hope and that you're able to change and overcome it.
Yes, it happened.
Yeah.
It happened after that. That if he can, why can't?
Yeah.
And this is where my pep talk was going
Yeah.
yesterday
Yeah.
on the way from my place to Dehradun.
Yeah.
That I'm going to meet Vikram, and I was very anxious. Of course, everybody is anxious
Yeah.
to come in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But then this was like, if Honey Singh can, why can't I?
Yeah.
It's a comeback for me, and it's a comeback. And trust me, today, after this podcast, the biggest victory is that it's my comeback. It's thank you, Vikram, for giving me this platform. It's my self-confidence which has come back.
No, it's amazing. I mean, listen
You
to
are a healer.
Amen.
You just
Amen.
healed.
Today is not the day to delve into my story, but a lot of things that you said I can resonate with, and I feel you're really speaking from your heart, and it's very inspiring what you're sharing right here, and I'm sure it's going to speak to a lot of people, you know. So really
Did you
appreciate.
bring the Holy Bible? I can swear on that.
Well, I'm
Never mind. I can shake hands with you and I can say that it's Bible for me.
I believe you. This is not the court of justice, so you don't have to lay your hand on any holy text, but I believe you.
But I want the world to know I'm not lying.
Yeah. Oh, well, I trust you, man. You are not lying. So tell me about, what are things that worked for you and things that didn't work for you?
So I was lucky enough to have my cousin sister, who is no more. She died very young.
Yeah.
To come and support me during those darkest moments when I was undergoing the medical prescriptions and medicines and other things. My father's support, unconditional.
Yeah.
My mother's strength, who is very innocent, She didn't even know what her daughter is going through. Till date, she's so innocent. She doesn't know what she's going through and what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Till date, she's so innocent. You know, like we have our moms, you know, our homely moms.
Yeah.
You know, the one you find in the mountains of Uttarakhand. You know, those homely moms, right? And my sister's support and their silence somewhere of not bullying me,
Yeah.
their silence speak volumes, because you know, usually in siblings what happens, they call you names during the fights, during the arguments.
Yeah.
They try to bully you. Oh, you're not this. Oh, you're not
Yeah.
that. And they were girls. They could have had jealousy also.
Of course.
Because what they tell me is I'm the most good looking. So you never know the sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
But no, they were my pillars of strength.
Wow.
So this entire family support, change of the city. When I got this attack, I was in a small village in UP. My father brought me back to Dehradun because this is the place I love. So he said, this environment, if my daughter gets this environment which she loves, this will help her in healing. And then my inner strength of jumping into science again, joining another school, of course. I was in a different school now. And having this inner strength that this time I will do it. And I could have taken commerce. I could have taken arts, which were much more easier for me.
Right.
And I was more in bent of commerce than science. But I wanted to, you know, it's like a comeback. In class 12th, it was my comeback to take up science and then pass it.
Now there was a time in your life for 2 years you did not take medication. Remember?
Yes. I told you. Yes.
Yeah. But what?
And I didn't meet my doctor also.
You didn't meet your psychiatrist. You didn't take medication for 2 years. But then what happened? What made you go back to medication?
Okay. Yes, I told you that in life there are certain triggers. So when I didn't take, you didn't ask me that why I could live for 2 years without medication, Vikram. That's a very deep question.
Yeah, I think so. We should talk about
Yes,
that.
yes.
Yeah, what
First,
made you? How could you give up medication and live for 2
because
years? Yeah.
in depression, if you keep yourself busy with positivity, then there's no time for negativity to hit you, na. So morning 9 o'clock I'm going and I'm working till 7:38.
Yeah.
Busy. Lot of people in the waiting area. And I was a counselor.
Right.
Imagine start talking at 9 in the morning and you are talking non-stop. Sometimes I remember this old gentleman telling me, "Beta, khana to kha lo, at least have your food. That's why you are working for." And I thank him for this great, teaching, which I still have till today. That food is very important. So I used to keep on working hard, then come home, then watch Friends, then talk to my dad like a dad because he was my boss in the office. But then he was my dad in my house. So two role plays every day. Then my mom, cribbing a little that you're not coming to the kitchen. How will you take care of your family when you get married? This happens to almost every Indian girl who is running away. But the real thing is I don't like cooking and I'm very good at cleaning the house. Okay? So I don't like cooking till date. The only time I've cooked is during Corona, when my cook was banned.
Well, Corona taught us a lot of things that we didn't do earlier, you know.
Corona also taught us something.
What?
There is a documentary, The Lost Children.
Okay.
Okay.
By who?
I'll let you know that. And it's a true story. There's a plane crash and 4 little children are left in the the jungles of Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah. It's near Cambodia. I think they're Cambodians, right? They lose their mother in that plane crash. They lose this other gentleman. There were only 7 passengers. And these 4-5 children, for 40 days, they survive in the jungles of
Amazon.
Can you imagine that?
Wow.
And you should watch that and you should show it to your children also. Because in the end, after 40 days, with the help of the army and the local people, and of course the spiritual prayers, they were found.
Wow.
Though their condition was, it moved me to tears, I can't describe the pain I saw because they had no food, no water. You should watch the docu-series, But one thing, I made my daughters sit there and watch, and the message was that never give up. So this little girl, she fought with a snake, with jungle animals. I cannot recall every animal right now. She did fishing and they had raw fish. And there was a child who was 11 months old, her youngest sibling.
In this group, among the four
Yes,
children,
you should-
the youngest was 11 months.
11 months old. 11 months old, a baby. And Corona in front of it is nothing, but still we have learned a lot of lessons.
We've learned a lot,
and my greatest lesson was
Yeah.
that we are animals. We can survive anything because I didn't know how to cook. And I became a very good cook because it was a matter of survival. My children needed good food. My husband needed good food. I needed food.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I survived Corona thrice.
Wow.
I got it thrice.
You got it thrice?
I had a fibroid operation also in Max Hospital where there was Corona ward right next to my ward. In fact, I've walked through the Corona ward. I didn't know, but yeah, I was fearless because I was more bothered of getting rid of my surgery
Right.
as fast as possible
Yeah.
and going back and taking care of my kids.
Yeah.
So my kids are my strength. I live for them.
So we were talking about these 2 years because you
Yes,
got
I was
so
on
busy.
a high because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
financially I was doing very well.
Yeah.
I made a lot of investments with my
Right.
dad. My sisters were doing very well.
Yeah.
Then my sister got married. That was another positivity.
Right.
And very nice of this family because I was very scared. And I remember asking my sister's husband, "I am a divorcee. Will you marry my sister?" I had this complex in
Yeah.
me. He said, "So what? There is one in my family also." So sweet, and thanks to him.
Yeah.
And he was the one who supported me
Yeah.
for my second marriage
Okay.
by calling me not even my sister, mind it. He's such an angel. He used to call me every 2 weeks. "So when are you coming and when are we dating another boy?" For you, because they always used to be with me. My protectors, because I have
Yeah.
to meet strangers.
Of course.
So they were always in some other cafeteria keeping a watch.
Yeah.
It was not like I was all alone or something.
Yeah.
Meeting
Wow.
these gentlemen because it was a portal, shadi.com.
Yeah, yeah, it's a portal.
It can be a fake thing also.
Yeah, it can be a fake person.
Why
it
not?
can
It's
be,
happening all over the world.
Yeah, it is. So this
So
was
this 2 years was a
yeah,
high.
High, yeah.
And then,
Yeah, what happened? What was the trigger for you to go back to medication?
honestly,
Yeah.
that I was off the medication. One thing, if you are on medication, don't leave it. And second, it was my fear of getting into marriage again. Deep down. Did I tell you? Did I tell you this earlier?
No.
Okay, these two fears, which I'm nailing down right now.
Okay.
One, I was off the medication.
You
So
were off
every science person will say, this happened because you were off the medication. And deep down, my fear was jumping into another marriage.
Another marriage, which had gone bad for you the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will try and come out of any failure now. Before getting success, when you hit the rock bottom,
Yeah.
that is your greatest fear. Will I be successful again or not? Suppose somebody loses business,
Right.
all his investments.
Yeah.
He goes bankrupt.
Yeah.
Tell me very honestly, Vikram, won't he be scared in taking loans again and investing?
Of course, he's going to be
Very
scared. Yeah.
natural. So it was with me, the fear. So that anxiety came in.
Okay.
And it was never the medicines. I always told my dad, I want to talk to uncle. I want to talk to him.
Okay.
Now, if he
Yeah.
prescribes me, it's okay.
Yeah.
But it was never in my family that we need some medicines. Never.
Yeah.
Let's meet uncle. And my dad also used to realize, I think it's time to meet uncle. Do you feel that we need consultation?
Yeah.
And my dad always studied in Hindi medium schools.
Yeah.
And then Madhav Rao Sindhya Gwalior's engineering college. And he had all his interactions with the rural area in UP and Uttarakhand. But he was very English when it came to taking therapy and believing in counseling, which a lot of people don't believe in.
No.
Therapy is very important. I really appreciate, the other day I was watching a reel in which Amir Khan came forward and he said, therapy has helped me a lot
Wow.
with his relationship with his children and whatever problems he was facing. But he's come forward in favor of therapy.
In favor of
So
therapy.
this etched in my memory,
Yeah. Yeah. So.
People are coming that, yes, therapy is very powerful.
So-
Prayers,
so-
therapy,
Yeah.
medication.
So you went back after 2 years and met
Dr. Bhushan again. Yes. After a long
Yeah.
time.
And did he put you back on the same medication or?
Yes, what often he used to do, sometimes a dose higher, sometimes a dose
Okay.
lower, depending on my
Yeah.
mental state.
Yeah. And how did you feel after that once you got back on that? Did your anxieties and fears subside?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
because and then I fell in love. Yes, there were there were rejections also. No, sometimes
Yeah.
the rejection is from the other end.
Yeah.
Sometimes the rejection is, oh God, I met this guy, came all the way to Delhi, Gurgaon, and
Yeah.
God, is such a
Was not worth
such a
it, yeah.
headache. Coming again, meeting people, listening to their stories,
Yeah, it's
going
work.
back, and then
Yeah.
then the worst part for me
Yeah.
was I'm not very good with numbers and computers and laptops.
Yeah.
Though I was into IT, right?
Yeah.
People used to work. I was a counselor. I was more into the gift of the gab, you can say.
Yeah.
Talking to people.
Until today. Gift of the gap.
No,
Yeah.
you are also, Vikram.
Yeah.
You're so good at it. That's why I'm enjoying with you.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying with you. Feeling so much at ease and home.
Me too.
You're really great.
Thank you.
So, and so now meeting these and getting rejections and it was again a rock bottom that this is the last time I'm on Shadi.com. After that, it's over. And there I saw my husband.
Wow.
Photograph. Rock bottom.
So it was right at the rock bottom that you found your
I
husband.
told my sister, this is the last time I'm spending this day with you in your house and going through this laptop machine. It's not working for me. So let things happen naturally. Somebody will
A
come.
beautiful picture comes to my mind. When you sink to the floor of the ocean, that's where you find the pearl. He was sitting, you had to go sink to the bottom of the ocean
Beautiful.
to find that pearl. And he was waiting right there for you. And you came up, you emerged with that pearl.
And just the moment when you are about to give up, something uplifts you.
Wow.
Now, this is what I call God.
Yeah.
This is what I call a miracle.
Yeah. It is nothing short of a miracle. Yes. That is true.
For me, it is a miracle.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rest of the world will think.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the biggest miracle because I'm in a happy marriage today. I have 2 children,
But
2 daughters.
something, before we go to the marriage, there's something that happened. You ran into some sort of opposition and then you had to take quick action. Tell me about that before you got married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me going against my family and getting married.
Yeah, what happened?
No,
Tell
very
me.
funny thing, It was an arranged marriage which turned into an elopement, a mini elopement, I will call it, because I came back home only after getting married. It wasn't like I'm eloping to some other city or something. I just went for a couple of hours to get married to him. Now, how it started, mine was an arranged marriage through Shadi.com. Everything got fixed up, like it happens in India, This and this date, I remember, I think it was 20th of February.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm so good with these positive dates.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember the negative ones.
No, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Don't
that's a good
remember the
thing.
negative days.
Yeah.
Remember the positive ones only.
Positive.
Yeah.
So 20th Feb, he was supposed to get married and his younger brother. Now, something happened
Yeah.
and me and him broke off.
Oh.
So the marriage also from the families, but it was something which happened between me and him.
Okay.
And I don't know, I don't want to blame anybody for this. Okay,
Yeah, of
something
course.
happened between, and
Yeah.
the end result was that the marriage didn't occur. So the
Okay.
families also, because the kids are not agreeing, then what can we do?
So was there already a date for the marriage?
20th Feb.
And it didn't happen?
Because just before the marriage, we broke off.
Okay, got it. And then?
I had
yeah.
shopped also, shopping also
Yeah,
completed.
everything was done. Okay.
Okay. And then because of whatever happened
Yeah.
in between us, it was, it was a break off. And then the families were confused. What is happening?
Yeah.
20th Feb, the other brother is also about to,
Yeah.
get married and it will have a bad impact,
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
this. And but at that time, it was God's plan.
Yeah.
So his on his own way and on my own way, I bid goodbye
Yeah.
with a lot of love, no bitterment at all. I bid him goodbye, carry on, please go ahead with your future. I suggest him some things for him.
Yeah.
Neutral, okay, bilkul like a healer like you, with no
Yeah.
hatred. I'm very kind. Second, I didn't want him to get angry because there's so many stalkers around, right? I was scared deep down, what if he gets angry with me or something? So there were two. I was clever as well as kind, like, okay. The reason was kind enough to, okay, let him go. But then what happened, I started looking at other portfolios and meeting other guys. This is Feb. So March, April, yeah, April end. It was a holy day. It was holy. Okay, I get a message from him. His brother, meanwhile his brother must have gotten married, and I'm thinking, he's on his. I have no connection with him.
No
But
communication at
no
all.
No communication, yeah. But he had my phone number.
Okay.
So holy day, I'm in Delhi, and I get a message that can we meet? I want to marry you. Very strange.
You get a message from him.
Can we meet again? Because I'm sure I want to marry you. I'm sure. There was some confusion, right?
Yeah.
By this time, he was sure.
Okay.
And I was also somewhere not connecting with the guys I was meeting because I was so much in love with him.
Oh.
Every guy I'm meeting, I'm back of my mind. I was like, oh, he was so good. Oh, but what went wrong? Why did that had to happen? Whatever happened between us.
Yeah.
That's my top little secret. Huh? I know you're dying to know.
no, it's all right. Keep it a secret.
Yeah. So and he tells me that come and meet me, and the next day, I was supposed to meet someone in his town where he stays for a date over a cup of coffee to get married to this, but some love thing was there, some power was there. I said, okay, I'm coming to meet someone in respect to marrying him and all, but I don't mind meeting you for 5-10 minutes. That's very strange. I'm going to meet him and then I tell him I'll meet you for 10 minutes. Now, the next day, something very strange happened. The guy I was supposed to meet, his family told me that rest is all fine, which I found a little fishy over the phone. Rest is all fine with our son. He's just not able to drive. I said, no worries. Even I don't know how to drive a car. That's not a problem. I'll come and meet him. But when I go and meet him, no offenses to anybody's sentiments, but he was not normal.
He was not normal.
No. And I will not like to use any other term because I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling because it is the way God created him.
Okay, got it.
God created.
Yeah.
But the family was trying to hide it on such a level that nobody can hide. They could have easily told me over the phone that, okay, this is the problem. This is your choice whether you want to come or not.
Right.
But when I met him, I didn't feel anger at all. Because I was a depression patient, so I could relate to the family immediately that the only intention is that they want a good girl to marry their son. But he's not normal.
He was not normal. And you could make out immediately.
Yeah, I think he was not even, what I feel as an individual, not for matrimony also.
Okay.
Like if a person cannot take his own responsibility, then marriage is a responsibility, like wife, children.
Yeah, of
Marriage doesn't mean everything, every happiness. I don't know. It's a choice.
It's a choice,
But parents wanted him to say, it's okay. It's their sentiments.
Right.
So, and I sit with him and with respect, I counsel him and whatever I could counsel him. Okay, let's have a cup of coffee. I told him I'll be with you for an hour and then I have to go. So I give him this 1 hour and I'm like with him like a friend more. And I'm talking to him, and because I'm a counselor, I'm analyzing him also. And I'm just feeling also like, I feel so sad in saying no to you, you know. So I just tell him, okay, I'll let you know. Okay, I'll let you know. But at the same point, it breaks my heart that people are so deceiving. Because I'm coming from so far. I'm coming from Dehradun to Delhi. It's a lot of effort for me. If you're that transparent, you tell me now that it's your choice, you know. And I come and it's like this. It's like I'm deceived. I feel like I'm betrayed. But I'm kind enough to overlook that. But then my present husband, he's waiting outside for me because I promised him I'll meet you.
Right.
And I felt so low at that time that I didn't even see who he was, what is going to happen. I just went and I cried in his arms. He was just another human being for me. And he said, why are you crying? Then I told him, this happened. So then he told me it's not gonna happen anymore because we are getting married. That's it. And because my sister was diagnosed with cancer, there was no way I could tell my parents to come into a formal wedding and get me married.
So something happened. What did you both decide?
His mom was they liked me.
Okay.
Okay, his grandparents, everybody was in favor of me.
Yeah.
So I knew that they will welcome me in the family.
Right.
So my fear wasn't there that will they welcome me or not.
Yeah.
But I was not in the position because my sister was, my house was in a brooding stage because my sister got diagnosed with cancer. How can I tell them to throw a happy birthday party for me? It's like that.
Yeah.
How can they throw a normal wedding in India is like, calling your people, calling their people and getting that whole wedding thing. So A was this. And B was that whatever the reason was, my father was at that time he had this power because of that incident to tell me that Vimy, you are making a mistake getting married to him. Whatever happened.
Yeah.
Are you getting my message?
You mean the first one?
No.
Oh, the breakup.
Our marriage was going to happen on 20th of February.
Okay, got it. Because that marriage didn't happen.
The reason was big enough for a daughter's dad
to say no.
No.
Okay, got it.
You are doing wrong.
Okay.
So it was like running against his wishes.
Yeah, of course.
So I had no other choice. A couple of friends supported us and we got married and he made all the arrangements. And I was asking such funny questions to him the day.
So without your dad's knowledge, you got married?
Yeah, you know what I did?
Yeah, did you elope?
Yes, you can call it elopement, yes.
Yeah.
Because it happens in the films and all, they call it elopement. But it was, dressing up in a red suit and wearing heels. My sister coming in the same community, hey, early in the morning, where are you going so decked up? And I'm telling her I'm going to the gym. And she's looking at me with heels, you're going to the gym?
The gym.
Yeah. So she thought, okay, she might be just dating him because my sister knew that somewhere I'm dating this guy again.
Yeah.
I told my sisters I'm dating him, but don't tell it to mom and dad. So they didn't know I'll get married that day.
Yeah.
I didn't know myself because a night before I'm asking him, okay, is the Mangal Sutra ready? He said, yes, the Mangal Sutra is what Indian women is supposed to wear.
Yeah.
And I'm asking him silly questions to run away from him, to run away from all this eloping because I was my dad's most obedient daughter. Who, if he tells me to come at 9, I'll come at 8:45 back home.
Wow.
But this one decision.
Yeah. You went against him.
There were some powers.
Yeah.
Like my husband had hypnotized me, I think.
He had hypnotized you.
No, not exactly. Like these powers, they hypnotized me that you have to go and get married. I told my dad, it was beyond my control. That's the right word. It was beyond my control. And I'm asking him silly questions. Okay, did you buy a gold Mangal Sutra or a diamond? He says a diamond. Okay. So now in this little thing, I say, oh, the guy is really serious. He bought a diamond one for me. I can't waste his money. And I'm thinking all these silly things, and then the morning I got up and decking up, wearing heels, and my sister not stopping me from dating him. And then he was in his car and
he was waiting for you in his car.
Yeah, to go to a beauty parlor because we wanted good pictures.
Right.
So I got and he had a wedding special dress for me.
Okay.
He shopped for me, everything. And who helped? A female colleague, his best friend. She's in Canada right now.
Okay.
And she helped him. She was married. She had 2 children, so they were our eyewitnesses.
Wow. And so you dress
so I
up.
had that lady support from her.
Exactly.
Because
and so you go with him and you dress up in your wedding dress.
Yes.
And then where do you go?
I go to a mandir.
Yeah.
Arya Samaj.
Okay. Where was this?
In Delhi.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, so it was so mystical.
Yeah.
I think even my husband also doesn't remember where we were. Even I don't remember where we were. If you today ask me where was I don't remember.
You don't remember the details because you were
I ask him sometimes. Do you remember where we were?
Yeah.
He says no. But I have a certificate, so I can always look.
It's in
Of
written.
course.
You have a
Yeah,
document to
yeah, yeah.
support it,
Yeah.
that it actually happened and not that you were dreaming.
Yes, and I have an album also to support that.
Wow.
Because my husband
Yeah.
was so mature. I was very foolish and very, what should I say, goofy.
Goofy.
I'm still goofy, huh?
Yeah.
But he told me, you
Yeah.
take the album,
Yeah.
show it to your dad when he's in a good mood, so that he, as an Indian dad,
Yeah.
he feels that you're just not living with me. You are
Yeah.
married religiously to me.
So you got married, and then where do you go?
Yeah, to his house.
You went to his house after
You know
getting
how?
it. How?
You know what I told him? Before marriage, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
And the moment we get married,
He's nervous.
he is nervous because now he has to take me
Yeah.
home.
Right.
And I tell him, you have no option now.
Did
So
his
you-
parents know?
His
that you were-
dad was a depression patient.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
His mom,
Uh-huh.
no
No clue.
clue. No clue.
Wow.
And that's why he's
Yeah.
nervous, because his mom
Yeah.
doesn't know now.
Mom doesn't know.
So now
Yeah.
he has to take me to his house.
Right, right.
On his way, I see him jittery driving the car, and I ask him that you better behave more confidently, because
Yeah.
I need your confidence.
Of course.
And
of course.
and my eyewitnesses, they are the Baratis. They want food. At this time, when we both are so nervous, they ask that we want a party right now. We want to have lunch. We are hungry. So we take them to a Delhi, I think Pandara Road and all
Yeah.
that. And we tell them, okay, you have Chinese. And we both not eating anything because we are so jittery.
Yeah.
They are freaking out on the Chinese food with their children. Okay. And then they leave us. Now you go home.
Wow.
So now when we come home, it's a shocker for his mom.
Oh,
But somewhere I see the happiness because I'm the same girl.
right, right.
But then people get scared because there are a lot of people into honor killings and all that now.
Yeah.
So she got scared. No, how is your dad going to react?
Yeah.
What have you done? She tells her son, how is her family going to react?
Yeah.
She's scared, but at the same time, she was welcoming.
What is this honor killing you mentioned?
If this is what I have heard of and gathered from the news.
Yeah.
It must be prevalent in a lot of communities around the world, which I'm not sure of.
Yeah.
But I get to hear it from news and other
Yeah.
data and Facebook and all
Yeah.
these social media things, that if the girl marries against the wishes, or the son marries against the wishes, or sometimes it's an intercaste, or against the honor, then there are some extreme cases
Yeah.
which I totally oppose,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that they get killed also.
So the family members kill their daughter, or both of them, or
Any one of them.
Any one of them. Oh, it's crazy.
It must be prevalent across the world,
Across the world, yeah.
but
Yeah. Wow. But this didn't happen to you.
no, you know why?
Yeah.
Because I am from an educated family.
Right.
I was sure of my dad that
Yeah.
yes, he will get angry with me.
Yeah.
But I had worked so closely with him. Both in the office, he was my boss.
Right.
And at home, he was my father. I knew he cannot even kill a mosquito. I'll just come back and,
So tell me, what?
And one thing,
Yeah.
I want to thank Mr. Imtiaz Ali
Yeah.
for making Jab We Met,
Yeah.
and thanking Karina
Karina, yeah.
for running away from her house
Wow.
to marry the guy, and my father watching this movie n number of times.
Wow.
And not even blaming Karina for eloping once, which in turn became my confidence that my father never gets angry at Karina for eloping. He's always finding her so sweet and goofy and so naive in that movie,
Yeah.
Jab We Met,
Yeah, yeah.
And she became famous for that.
Yeah.
So somewhere I think I could relate why he used to watch that movie so often. Tell me why, Vikram. I was as goofy as her, that character.
You know why? What I was thinking is, a lot of times our parents will accept things on screen, but as long as it stays on screen and doesn't happen with their family member. Have you seen that? Have you noticed that? A lot of times we are okay with watching things happen on screen, but we don't want it to happen in our own lives.
Yes, but my father never got a grudge on his face,
Okay.
because if a person will have some prejudice against
Yeah.
honor, then he will switch off the TV.
Right.
He won't watch it again.
Yeah. He
And,
watched
and
it.
my father was educated, and of course I had faith in my husband.
Yeah.
I had that power, that destiny
Yeah.
in my husband. You know that he's a good man.
Yeah. Yeah. So how many days later did you return to your dad? To your dad's house?
One day.
Just one day.
One
Next day you
I
returned.
made, you know,
Yeah.
the moment I
Yeah.
got married and
Yeah.
came to my car out of the mandir, the first call I made was to my sister,
Right.
who was fighting cancer at that time. And I told her, Ruchi, I married him.
Yeah.
You know, I married my husband.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and she was like, she shouted back,
Yeah.
Arey, mujhe cancer and you're getting married? That you married him? I thought you were on a date with him.
Right.
And you're telling me, so she didn't know how to react. So you know what she did? Anger. I'm getting cancer and you're getting married.
Oh, she was angry, upset.
Upset over that marriage?
Yeah.
She was shocked. It was a shock
Shock.
of her. That I'm calling her over the phone.
Wow.
And how the shock came out?
Yeah.
Oh God, I've got cancer and you're getting married. She didn't know how to react, you know. So I was like, and then his mom told me that, okay, it's your wedding night and you should go to a nice hotel and all that. So we checked in a nice 5-star.
Yeah.
And there I was like very scared because now my family knows.
Oh, yeah.
But something very sweet happened, which gave me the courage to go on happily
Yeah.
on my wedding night with beautiful memories, because I'm coming to that point because just the previous day, my sister and her husband had gotten some movie tickets booked for an animated film. And I knew I'm running away, but they were asking me, so will you like to join us for the movie? I said, yeah, please do buy a ticket for me so that nobody comes to know that I have a plan. And they bought a ticket. And after my telling my sister, after another hour, I call my youngest sister, Anupma. She is more of a supporter for anything.
Right.
Even if you rebel against anything. She comes in favor of what you want in life. She likes to live life on her terms. She doesn't judge anybody. She says, okay, your decision, your life.
Your life, yeah.
So that strength is from Anupma. So I asked Anupma, I said like, you know, what are you guys doing right now? You know what she told me?
Yeah.
We're watching the movie. She told me we are watching the movie.
Right.
If they were in shock, why will they go for the cartoon movie?
Exactly. Why would they go? Yeah.
So they were chilled out.
Yeah.
And my sister told me we are watching the movies, but you are not there. Your seat is empty.
Yeah.
Because then, and she told me, why did you make us buy another ticket? That's such a waste when you knew you had to elope and get married. So she jokes around. And then at night, I call her that, you know, I'm still anxious. What is Papa going to think about this? And I'm not the girl to go against his wishes. So she tells me that, you know, chill. Now you are married.
Right.
So you take charge of your life, your decision. And I'm very proud of you because for once in life, you have taken your own decision.
True.
And that was my power. And you know, the second, third day, my father said, please come for lunch.
Okay.
He invited me for lunch.
Wow.
And then Rocky and me, I was with a huge smile. I was like, you want to hit me or something? And no, sit here. And then, you know, Rocky, I'm so sorry, I just named him, but it's okay. So he's such a gentleman that, you know, when my dad passed away, he confessed, it would have been the biggest mistake of my life. You not getting married to Rocky. He is an angel.
Your daddy said that?
For my husband.
Wow.
He's an angel.
Yeah.
Before passing, because he got cancer, so he got time to talk about his last things to us.
Yeah, of course.
Cancer gives you time. An accident won't.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
So he talked his heart out in his final days. So he told me that I thank that power who made you decide against my wishes to marry this gentleman. This would have been my biggest mistake because now I can die with peace that you are with an angel.
Wow, what a beautiful resolution to the story. What a beautiful resolution. And he was able to express and in a way give you both his blessings before his passing. Right? Wow, wonderful. Tell me about today. How are you doing today? And like really, how
Today?
you in relation to depression?
Yes.
On a day-to-day basis?
See, when I get up,
Yeah.
sometimes I have a problem in getting up also if lack of sleep is there. So what I'm working, I'm trying to maintain a lot of self-control and self-discipline. Like, getting a good sleep,
Yeah.
eating healthy food, because I'm going to be 50 next year. So metabolism goes down, hormonal imbalances. And I'm not going to the gym, though I've paid for annual membership, but I'm working in the house. I'm in some or the other activity within my
So
house.
you're always mobile.
I'm on the move. I'm on the
on
move.
the move the
And
whole day.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
not able to read much, because
Yeah.
reading you have to sit.
Oh yeah.
So I read a couple of pages, then I move.
But what you can do is you can listen to the podcast or listen to a
Oh.
book, audio book.
Yes, I do that,
Yeah.
and I listen to music every hour of my day.
Yeah.
If I'm working, suppose I'm cleaning my
Yeah.
wardrobe,
Yeah.
music is always going on, or some motivational videos always going on YouTube.
That's great. That's great. That's
And
what
in
I.
between, and I'm a little different from the rest of the crowd. People like to listen to music. I like to see the videos. So
Oh, those are-
what I do, I play YouTube,
Yeah.
and today you can find Michael Bolton, Celine Dion, Dean Lewis in a second. And
second.
earlier in the 90s, we used to have
Wait.
to wait for the rewind.
Rewind,
You know, the
yeah.
MTV grind, and then Channel V.
Exactly,
Sophia
exactly.
coming and Leila coming
Yeah.
and giving us some rewind music and all
Right,
that.
exactly.
But today, whatever you want to listen to, just start it.
What I like to do is when I go for walks, I just play my favorite podcast, or I listen to an audiobook. That
When you
helps
go
me a
for your
lot.
walks.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's dangerous, because what if a vehicle is coming from
No,
behind?
I usually go on the fields in the farm where you don't have any vehicles.
Yeah,
so
then it's okay,
so I
yeah.
go on
Or a
walking path.
park or something,
Yeah, so
you know?
in Germany, I would,
Acha, in
I would,
Germany,
yeah,
yeah.
I would never go for out on the street with my ears
Yeah.
plugged in, with the earphones or headphones. But only in Germany.
Yeah, in Germany you can
In
do it,
Germany,
because
so
I've
I
never
listen
been to that.
Yeah,
place.
and I listen to that's. So I take anywhere between 40 minutes to 1 hour, which gives me enough time to listen to a couple of chapters, let's say. And this way, I've been able to read or listen to a lot of books.
Yes.
You know?
So I start with my thyroid. I have thyroid also. So I start with my medicine.
Okay.
And then I have a cup of tea,
Okay.
which I really love listening to the music.
Yeah.
Then I go to Facebook also. I go to social media also to get some positive quotes. Because
Right.
it's easy, na?
And the best
It's
thing
easy.
is-
it's in a fraction of a second. You
And,
can
and the
read
best thing is, if you whatever you feed on, Facebook will feed you more of it. You
and
know?
it's like, yeah, that's what Anupma, my sister, tells me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
AI. It's AI. No, it's my God. I have this faith that God is, for me, it's my God.
Yeah.
Because what I'm going through, it's popping up, So
Yeah.
the remedy, the solution is coming up.
Solution is
So
coming
for
up.
me,
Yeah.
it's my faith is there is God on FB.
Yeah.
For my sister, it's AI.
Yeah, right. What's your morning routine like when you wake up? Do you spend time in prayer or meditation?
See, when I wake up, the very
Yeah.
first thing is I am a mother of 12-year-old and 13-year-old.
Okay, yeah.
So I have to, no matter how, no matter, like if it's not a Saturday, Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
a weekday, I don't have a choice. I have to get into that rush of sending them to school.
Okay.
Okay, so there, what I do now for a depression patient, it becomes very difficult to focus on two children at the same time. Their skirts, their shirts, their this, their that, belts and all that, their bags, their books, And no matter how independent the children are, somewhere the mother has to take care of everything.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
but my husband supports me a lot.
Really?
Even he gets up. Yeah. It's not that he's sleeping.
Yeah. So
He'll help me with the shoes.
Yeah.
I'll bring the belts.
Does he help you with the household chores?
Yes,
Really?
he cooks.
He knows
He's
how to
such a
cook.
great cook.
Wow.
He loves to cook. He loves, and this every night
Yeah.
there is something common between my dad and him.
Yeah.
I have a professional cook, but he will come no matter how late. We will wait. Which he comes around 9 and all that, 9:30, and 10 by 10 we are over with the dinner. But it is he who serves us dinner. He tells us to carry on with the television, come on the dining table when he will serve, and he doesn't let me enter the kitchen. He doesn't like to have any company in the kitchen. He likes to work. It's a stress buster for him.
Wow.
Like for me, cleaning the house is a stress buster.
Stress buster, yeah.
And my children unknowingly are
Yeah.
learning gender equality.
Wow.
Tomorrow,
It's
tomorrow,
amazing.
if you give the best example, if
Yeah.
any father has to start gender equality,
Yeah.
start helping your women in household
Yeah.
chores, because she's also going to the office.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Even the girls and women, there are working women like my sister.
Right.
Okay, so
course.
what is there is no shame,
There's no shame. Yeah.
there's no shame, there's no gender bias that I'm a man, I can't
Yeah.
enter the kitchen. Why not? My husband used to change the diapers also.
Well, I can confirm you found the best man who's working a whole day shift and coming home at 9 and going to the kitchen and cooking for the whole family.
And he's
What a
not
man.
tired. And
he's not
that
tired.
power is God
Yeah.
power, because he says it's my stress. But and if I'll tell him now that
Yeah.
when you go to Delhi and Bombay and Bangalore, aren't I'm doing it? You're
Yeah.
spoiling me. Don't do that. My
Yeah.
father did the same mistake. My father used to serve me food.
Really?
Yes. He used to say that at home she's my daughter. And my mom used to say, you know, you're spoiling her.
Did your father cook?
No, he used to serve.
He used to serve. Your mom
Like
used
my
to
mom
cook?
is cooking,
Yeah.
he will go to the kitchen and I will be at the dining table or sometimes on my bed or on my couch and watching TV and all.
Yeah.
He'll give it to me in my hand. And this is where connected with my husband also. With the first lunch,
Yeah.
he served me.
Really?
This is a very small thing. So he started serving me and I just joked around. I think you have to serve me for the rest of the life because my father is doing the same thing at home and that's what I like about you.
Yeah. Awesome.
So a very small thing, but he goes on unless and until he's away.
Yeah, of course. If he's not there, he cannot cook.
Then I'm there.
Can he cook dal?
Yeah, he helped me in Corona.
Okay.
He knows how to do it.
Okay.
Because, he was very good with the mixer grinder. With the machines, I'm so bad. I was very good at with all that spices and salt, and I'm very good with. So it was
teamwork.
Yeah,
it was teamwork.
It was a teamwork.
Wow.
But my daughter is also a great cook now, so everybody's getting into cooking, and I'm relaxing.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love cleaning the house.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you complement each other.
Yes.
Right.
Even in temperaments, I'm hyper energy. He's the calm one.
Yeah.
He is a tranquilizer for me because he's so calm that even during day-to-day arguments or fights, you can see my persona. I'm so loud, even in an interview, right? So if I'm in a bad mood, how loud I can get.
Oh man, I don't want to know. I don't want to know that.
No, I'm not that bad also. But with him now, he's so calm that, I start pitying him. No. I can't scream.
Do you beat him?
No.
Okay. No, I maybe I got it. I heard wrong.
No. You're getting me wrong. It's like suppose I have an argument. So because I'm loud, I'm naturally born like that. I'm higher high energy person.
High energy. Yeah.
That's why I'm moving a lot of physical activities going on. My EQ is higher than my IQ. That's what my doctor also tells me. But with him, he is sitting so calmly, no matter his $1 million deal is going on in the office. He's in his work also.
Yeah.
And one power he has is persistence. Like I'll tell him, I'm going away. He'll be there sitting. I'm there for you. How can you go away?
Wow.
Persistence. In the relationship, his persistence, and then my love for him. I love him so much that, after 5 minutes when he's not saying anything, and he knows that I am a brave heart, but I'm a pure heart also. He knows I'm so clear-hearted. Wow. I can never harm anybody. That's why he sticks around. Otherwise, you think anybody will like a screaming woman in the house? So you were so scared of me. Beating. You take your words back. Or you edit it. Please edit it.
Yeah. So you have the pants, you wear the pants in the house. That means you have the upper hand. Or is it more balanced?
It's if he is talking sense, I give in to him. Okay. If I make sense, he gives in to me.
Okay. But who decides who's right?
Mutually aa jata hai. Because it's that compatibility I married him for, na?
Right.
Mental compatibility. So eventually the way I will say is different. Right. The way he will come to the point is different, but it's the same point.
Yeah. What advice can you give those people that they should know about someone, maybe like a family member or a spouse who is dealing with depression?
Who is dealing with depression?
For them to be able to understand their partner better.
The most important thing is that first, before getting married to your partner, accept it. Yeah. That yes, this. If you call it an imperfection, I will not call it an imperfection also. Yeah. It is a very, very natural thing. It can happen to anybody. Right. trigger you at any age because of any experiences.
Yeah.
It can be cheating, it can be bankruptcy, it can be board exams, it can be
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So if you're accepting your partner, be
Yeah.
true to yourself that you
Yeah.
are accepting her,
Right.
her medical condition, her thing,
Yeah.
and have the empathy
Empathy.
for the rest of your life to deal with. Not in just saying that, yeah, I love you and I can do anything for you. I can move the mountains for you. No. You don't have to move the mountains. You just have to be there for them. Even if you listen to them, that's a therapy. Sometimes listening is a therapy.
Right.
Sometimes listening is a therapy. If they have to go to the doctors or the counselors, please go and support them. And why don't even you take some counseling? Because they're professionals. They are professionals who know their job, who are good at their
Yeah.
their ability. So why not pay them and get the best? Like, I was an academic counselor. People used to pay the fees because they wanted the best advice for their education, for their careers. So why not take this counseling from a medical practitioner or a psychiatrist or whoever, the therapist, with proud, not hiding and then going, not hiding your partner. Just go without any fear, like you go to a physician for a fever, okay? Or there are diseases like cancer and other diseases where people gain a lot of sympathies. Oh, you've got cancer, and everybody comes in support.
Right.
So we need those sympathies in this mental health care also, that come out. The society should come out and support these couples rather than bringing them down. The doctors should be empathetic,
Right.
the medical staff, their friends,
Yeah.
the families,
Yeah.
the groom's parents, the bride's parents, they should all team up and make them live a happy life. There will be ups and downs in life.
I totally agree. I think so the problem that has been is that it has been sort of an invisible illness. This is one that happens in the mind, and unless you see
It's
outer,
an inside battle.
yeah, it's an inside.
Like a war. If you see
Yeah.
a war in a movie,
Yeah.
a Troy or Gladiator, there's a
Yeah.
war. You can see that out because they're fighting outside.
They're fighting outside.
How can you? I can't look.
No.
I don't know what you're thinking about
Yeah.
me right now, Vikram. Can I? No.
No,
Unless
you
and until
cannot.
I have some supernatural power.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's an inside battle.
Yeah.
But then the partner.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me
Who's-
something,
yeah,
Vikram. Tell
yeah,
me something.
yeah.
I'll give you an example.
Right.
Me
Yeah.
or you.
Yeah.
We are very normal.
Yeah.
We get married. After 6 years from now, some trigger happens.
Yeah.
And we get depression.
Yeah.
Do you think a true partner will abandon us?
Absolutely not.
What are you going to do, God forbid, if this happens with your partner? Tell me, Vikram. After marriage, 6 years down the line, you discover
Yeah.
that my partner is diagnosed with depression, and what will be your approach?
Well, I'll try to understand her and find out how I can help her the way I can, but not abandon.
Absolutely.
No way.
That means you are a true partner.
Yeah.
That means you are a true partner. I am a true partner. My husband is a true
Yeah.
partner. Your wife is a true partner, because in adversity, if you're there for each other, that means a relationship to me.
Yeah.
Everybody can have lots of joy and happiness and party and fun and going on trips. But true friends,
Yeah.
true partners, and true families are there in the times when you hit the rock bottom.
In Christian marriage vows, they say, in sickness and in health,
Yes.
till death do us part.
Till death. Yes, for me.
Yeah.
For
It's the
me.
same
it's-
for you, right?
Yes. And even for my partner.
Yeah.
Yes.
They for each other.
We are there for each other.
And
God forbid, if something happens to one of us, then we are there. We are on a mission. We have our children.
yeah.
We are not going to sit back and cry.
Yeah.
We have to move on with our lives. Why? Because we have beautiful lives dependent on us.
Right.
So I'm not going to grieve. I have to move on.
What is the hardest thing day to day for you living with depression?
Hardest thing. With my kids, always I have to have a smile on my face. I always have this fear that it should not affect them. This is my biggest insecurity.
Yeah.
For that, even when there's an adversity which is very normal to any normal person, I have to smile. You know why?
Yeah.
Because I have to, that's my defense mechanism. I cannot be I cannot express my sorrow to them because I'm always scared that I hope it's not my depression.
Yeah.
So that battle between my real emotion and my depression,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to conquer that every day. So even if
I
I've
love that word. You have to conquer it every single day.
yes.
And that's a decision you have taken to put your best self forward and to put a smile on face no matter what you're going through or what you're feeling that day.
Sometimes I get overboard. I get so
Yeah.
positive. My sister will say, "This is something negative happening." This I'm just taking.
But that's
right
great.
side.
It was the same with me, when I was going through depression. I used to tell my wife, I have to psych myself up.
Yes.
I have to psych myself up, and it really works. So what I do, in the morning I'll wake up, and in Germany winters are long and gray,
Yeah.
long, dark and gray. And so I'll get up and it'll be like an overcast, and I'll say, look at the beautiful sunshine outside.
Yeah,
Look at the beautiful.
yeah.
And I started to say, I made it a habit. I said, what a beautiful day. Thank you, God, for giving me another day. What a beautiful day. I'm so grateful. God is so good. Life is beautiful. I started saying those things. And when I would go in, like, for example, I go to church every Sunday and meet people, When I go in, I said, hello, how are you doing? And somebody asks me, how are you doing, Vikram? I'm doing fantastic.
Yes.
What about you?
Yes.
They say, wow, this guy is always fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a short incident that took place a couple of months ago in Germany. So I go shopping to a supermarket with my two sons, first and second son. So I meet somebody on one of the shelves, and he asks me, so how are you doing, I said, I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah.
And same way, that's my default answer, And it's not that I am cheating myself, but you know what? That I start that from the morning. So whenever I answer, it becomes, I really mean it because it has changed something inside of me. Like I was telling you earlier, thought affects your emotions. So I told him, I'm doing fantastic. And you won't believe, there was somebody and a lady standing next to us, looking at the shelf. She turns around, flips around and said, wow, who's doing fantastic? Can I get something of that? And I said, I reached out to her and I touched her hand and I said, here, take some of my, because
energy.
I've got
She wanted to catch your energy.
Yes, I said, I've got loads of it. You can take from me. So
nice.
that's the kind of thing. And what you're telling me, I can totally agree with that. You have to practice that on a daily basis.
That's your defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Now, in that case, Vikram, I'm a little luckier than you.
Okay.
I don't even have to make that statement that I am fantastic. Ask me how.
Yeah, how?
I am known as one of the most positive parents in my children's school.
Really?
Yes. You know why?
Why?
I have $1 million smile. Somebody told me, this is not self-bragging, but some very good photographer told me that you have $1 million smile. Now, that's etched in my memory because that person, I think highly of him, okay?
Yeah.
So what he says to me is more important than the world perceives.
Of course.
So whenever I go to school in a PTM or any other school orientation, I'm always smiling.
That's amazing.
Whether my kids, of course, my kids are doing very good, very good, the gold medalists and things like that.
Yeah.
But even if 1%, I see parents getting bothered. This is not there. This is remaining. But me, I'm the most positive. Gratitude. Please, at the end of the day, this is a message for all the depression patients. Practice gratitude.
Yeah.
Like my friends say, oh God, I'm turning 48, my body. I say I'm turning 48 and I'm alive. That's my perspective.
Exactly.
I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, I'm 49, I'm alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's your gratitude, your perspective, positivity, and bounce back. Anupma said, bounce back. Whatever happens to you, just bounce back. And never ever give up in life.
So
they say it in Bible, I think, that if a door closes, God opens
another door.
Yes, it's true. It's very true. At least my life, whenever a door closes, I'm just waiting for the next one now. Wow. Move on. And that is why since 1994, this is 2025, and you can see me smiling. And you just call me 10 years younger. So I'm feeling very happy.
Awesome. So
That's my smile.
you made your peace with depression.
Yes, I think today is my comeback with you, Vikram. Thank you for giving me this platform, because you know why? Because this is so much confidence for me, my family, and the entire world. If even one person gets inspired, and they're suffering from depression or anxiety or any kind of illness, and they get inspired to move on,
Right.
move on. Even if it's not depression, any illness,
Right.
any negativity, please know how to move on, because there's always better, and you all are destined. Everything is, of course, I believe in God and my own power, that if you are doing good, good will come back. That's law of karma. I believe in karma.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you like to add anything? Someone who's watching this who might be going through or in a dark place that you have been in, is there anything you want to add or say to them?
If you are at the rock bottom right now,
Yeah.
in whatever situation, it can be illness, it can be relationship, it can be even spending a day alone in your house and feeling lonely, people without relationships. So my message to them is, rise like a phoenix from the ashes once again. Why am I repeating is because rise indicates strength and power to beat what is bringing you down. So you have to rise in love. You have to rise in life. Don't fall in love.
Yeah.
Don't fall in life. Rise.
Rise.
And that's why one of the most beautiful numbers I have is from the movie Tal,
Yeah.
Aishwarya Rai.
Right.
It's a very nice breakup song. The message in that number is that anything can happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to rise.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in the world.
Whatever happens in the world.
Whatever happens in the world, I will rise in love.
Wow. Amen.
Yes, my heart is broken. She agrees in those lines, My heart is broken, but I will rise.
You will rise from the ashes. You will rise
like a phoenix, that golden bird.
Like a phoenix. You will
who went
rise
against all the odds of burning into flames. And it's the strength, it's her power which the Greeks or the other mythologies pray to and follow to. And the strength is inside you. If your mind is going negative, please fill it with positivity.
What is your favorite song?
Okay. I have a lot of songs, but there is this one song which, if someone is at the rock bottom, can watch the video, can listen to, and you will get motivated. In school, class 11th was very difficult. So this hymn on Wednesday in the auditorium in the school, all our teachers, faculty members, and all the students in the audi used to sing it loud. This is, when upon life billows, you are tempest tossed. When you are discouraged, thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, count them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. So whenever you're feeling low, just take a diary and a pen. I'm those old school types, and write your blessings. And if you like the laptops, I'm going to do whatever you want to do.
It's so beautiful.
Count your blessings.
Count your blessings.
Count your blessings.
With that note, I'd like to thank you for having this wonderful open conversation. Thank you for sharing from your life and opening up. Beautiful. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be inspired by this talk and by your life's journey. If you can do it, you can do it too. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank Vimanshu for being here on the podcast.
Thank you.
This is our first podcast, but we are going to bring you many more inspiring stories. And I would encourage you to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Do all of that stuff so you can stay tuned to this new channel, Courage Coach, where we'll talk about confidence, courage, and purpose. Stay tuned. More to come. Bye-bye.
One thing. Can I add?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Vikram, this is for you.
Yeah.
This is our first podcast, and you just told me you'll come with many more.
Yeah.
So I respect you because you're making a difference. You're here with a mission. You're a man on a mission. And all my best to you.
Thank you
and
so
I'm
much.
there, always there for you. And all the blessings, whoever is watching, I think their blessings are with you. So go ahead and give
you.
it your best. And we all are waiting for your next podcast now.
Thank you so much.
you.
And I'm sure there's a lot more coming. And I appreciate your kind words. And thank you for your support that you came specially all the way from Delhi to talk with me. I appreciate that. This is not, I don't take it for
I
granted.
should be thanking you because I'm in such a positive company right now that this memory, what you have created for me, of course, our mission is the same, right?
Yeah.
Anti-depression.
Yeah.
But the opportunity, the platform, and my voice, which is going to so many people, and at home to my children and my family, it's an inspiration for them to go at a world level.
Absolutely.
Yes, so
it will.
you have given me a lot. I think I've not done anything for you.
Thank you, Vimanshu.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I don't have words to thank you, Vikram.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much.
ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, stay strong, stay courageous. See you next time.